final against Team Liquid.
Chat, hello. How are you doing?
It was a very speedy one.
How is
and I
everyone
think
doing
the
now?
kind of tone that was set was when we went into that Lotus map. And the composition that Team Liquid came out with, the Reyna, the Raze and everything, yeah, I think if they're going to start out this one, they need to get off to a good start.
Maybe we're going to see some surprises.
YouTube chat, there we go.
Right
Hello,
now,
YouTube
and
chat.
what I was referencing before is this run that Team Liquid had during kickoff. Of course, you see the winner being Vitality there, but they made it to the grand final. Although, I will say, I like the other storyline better, you know? Like, Team Heretics lost yesterday.
New jumper? No, this is just a t-shirt. Dude, it's actually hot here.
During the regular season,
I can't be wearing a jumper right now.
Is the second part, and
Really
I think
hot.
that I like, one, the difficulty that they're going to find today, because of all those wins and how flawless.
What do you think about the picks and bans for these teams? They both hate Pearl. Wait, they both all hate the same maps. It depends who gets the VO first, really.
It's got nothing to do with the fact they're a Spanish org, right? Zero.
Nothing.
Absolutely zero. But the best of 5 record is not looking good for Heretics. I think they have a lot of trauma, a lot of demons when it comes to best of 5. And don't get me started with
Need to
grand
stop thinking the
finals,
Heretics hate Pearl.
because at this point, Petra,
Yeah,
they
but they
should
don't.
be making grand
They
finals.
don't
That's the
like
bare
it, dude.
minimum, right? If you're a team,
They've been banning
you don't
it.
lose the whole split. You beat everybody dominantly. Point, right? Because
They
that's-
have to.
Yeah, but that's why when you lose, you learn from it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
And
just
they've been
want
here
close
before,
maps?
so
I'm hoping this
let's do
delivers.
this
We'll
time.
see.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, looking at the... Oh, no, don't do
think,
this to me. Don't do this to me. I just came into work.
I
Don't
think
do this to me.
there's a
But,
world
I mean,
where
as Petra
Liquid
said, they
take
don't
their
have a choice,
foot
because
off
if they don't win today
the
in this
gas
best
a
of
little bit
5,
on this one.
their EMEA season
Dude,
will end. They will be
Liquid
going
have
to
played something like
Toronto, but you
33
wanna be
best of
going to
3s
Toronto
already
as a
this
first
year.
seed if
I
you're
think
Team
that's right.
Heretics.
It's good
That's
that they
an
get the
insane
experience
amount.
of losing. I think that is
E4
something
Endeavor,
that
thanks so much for the tier 1. Appreciate the 9 months. Thank you.
But I mean, you know, this is the bounce back that we've been seeing through this stage 1 and what they can do now. Yes, I think that for most of
The map picks are here
we'd like
already.
to see a team that could dominate everything and just be the
Heretics
clear
banned
favorite, but I also
Fracture,
like this learning path.
Liquid
Yeah,
banned
true,
Pearl.
but I want them to get
Okay,
over
so
their
they went
demons. Like,
fast
win
and
a
they banned
trophy before you
Fracture.
go to Toronto.
Dude, I
Then
feel like
feel a little bit
Very
happier.
good for your
I feel like that
confidence.
makes sense.
Yeah, and speaking
Liquid
of
probably would have won on
confidence,
Fracture.
Billy, you know, we praise Nat for being the player, the leader that he is. But this, you know, we wanted to revisit this moment with Kiko yesterday because you don't see this version of Nats very often.
This interaction was something that we were all kind of keeping a keen eye on. We were like, oh my goodness, like what is being said? Because of course this was after that first map that they played.
I mean,
right?
Kiko had a banger third
Yeah,
map.
he didn't have the kind of performance that we would expect from him on that first map. So I don't know if this is like an angry interaction or if this is like a hyping him up, like trying to get
Yeah,
him
I think it
over,
was more
knowing that
just
Kiko's gonna be moving on to the
everyone
duel
has
at
bad
some
maps
second
kind of
map.
vibes.
You should hope
Don't
it's
say the
it's
negative
second one.
stuff.
Whatever it is, it
Feta Cheese with the Prime. Thanks so much for the 9 months, dude. Thank you.
We've been highlighting him a lot, and I think that this probably is just another instance of get your confidence back. Look at what you can do when you do this and this. I also think that with the amount of experience that he has,
Hyping him up? Yeah, I think he was probably like too negative in the comms or something, or said something that Nuts didn't like at the end.
He's probably giving some wise words, and we have a super rookie, which is really funny to say that the super
Krun
rookie
with
is
the
on
Prime.
side of
Thanks so much for the
Heretics
2
all of a
months, bro. I
sudden.
appreciate that.
But
Thank you.
Petra,
Thank you.
So important that Syria also has his
There's a
confidence.
second from the left. Yeah, this is Petra. Old G2.
Yesterday, but he has it now,
G2
so
goes
he's
in
probably
for
gonna
like what?
play better today, right?
3 years at
I
least.
think that especially the deeper that match was going up.
Tico the
yesterday,
Raccoon,
also
thank you so
taking,
much for the
like, you know,
Prime
the
as well,
boost in the
dude. Thank you
second
for
map,
that. Thank you.
losing
Thank
split
you.
for Team Liquid and whatnot. You need to think of
Who do you think has better chances to win this? I think Heretics should be favourites here, from what we've seen. Just purely as well, but not by much, but like 55-45. But I just think, again, I just think Liquid will take their foot off the pedal a little bit, even though they don't mean to.
Bracket finals, and it's time to send it down to the stage and see who will be joining Fnatic in the grand finals tomorrow.
Dark Horse for Toronto. Dude, everyone's kind of rated though, aren't they? Who's the Dark Horse for Toronto? The Dark Horse is Paper X, man. But I don't know how much people are believing. But it is actually Paper X, is the Dark Horse. Slime Bunny with the tier 1. Thanks so much for the 26 months. Thank you for that. Dark Train, yeah, that's true. XLG. Yeah, with the extra time maybe. They definitely didn't want to show anything recently. MIBR. I think that's not the worst shout as well. I think anyone who's already in the top 8 can't be a Dark Horse. But then again, saying that, I don't think we expect Sheila to be winning it. Prodigy, hello mate, thank you so much for everything, bro. Appreciate the 34 months. You had the train so your hair, respect. Doobie do as well, the 23 months. Thank you for that as well, dude.
We've heard from
Paper-X win Masters. I mean, that really would be a crazy run if that actually happened, considering where they were like a month ago.
HERETICS is going to be a big challenge for them today. It will be a best of 5, which means both teams will have 1 ban and 0 surprises so far.
Yeah, but Team HERETICS banning that fracture after what we've seen both from Liquid and from them. And for the first time this entire stage, Team Liquid, yes, they did ban the Pro, but they did not pick the split. It's actually going to
They left split? Dude, if we get split as a 5th, that'd be cool. I wonder if this means that Liquid's kind of lost a little bit of faith in their split, which is completely fair considering the results recently.
Right? It's weird that they've kind of waited to have like Lotus and Split. They're too strong.
And if I go another day without watching the freaking Team Liquid Lotus, like I need someone, like yesterday they were shut down on Split, I need to see them shut down in Lotus. Well, this is the thing, maybe they're scared of picking into that Split because they just got completely antied against BBL yesterday.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit worried
Split
about
is
this
always a
Haven
banger,
because
yeah,
Liquid,
pretty
they
much.
brought us a comp that was designed to counter the ISO Yoru comp. It worked a treat yesterday. HERETICS, they have to be prepared for this. They have to know that this is something Liquid are probably not going to change.
In-game stun, we can do it a little bit.
Considering
Increase
they
it a
also
little bit.
run something similar to that. But yeah, not having the split, maybe.
I think they probably lost a little bit of faith in their split, to be honest, with some of the results that's been happening.
The game, but that really surprised me.
Yeah, you need to think, right? The back-to-back games, HERETICS is a very strong team with a very smart staff that is going to be on top of everything. Probably one of the reasons why they decided to go for the Haven. A map that has been flawless for them this stage, and that if they have that show in and maybe they know something that we do not know about the double sentinel that they can go up against.
The thing is, as well, you say that about Team Liquid, but they've changed their comp the 3 times that they have played this map, this stage, so I'm wondering, have they prepared something specifically for today?
At the same time, when it gets a little bit later, things are going to get good for Liquid, but let's take a look at the agents. There's no surprises. Petra, after seeing what they brought yesterday, what do HERETICS have to be mindful of? Because
the normal comps that we saw yesterday,
yeah, I hope
no
they
one's
figure
changing.
out
I mean,
how
honestly,
to
we're going to get no
play
changes. There just wasn't enough time in
Liquid,
general.
So I hope they're working around it. And
I think Raze will be played more in Toronto. I think Raze will be played a little bit more. Obviously, the Yoru doesn't. The Yoru is a little bit less viable on certain maps because the Teo goes out. It's still insanely viable. It's probably the best duelist that teams will lean into, but your options go down a little bit. And I do think at the moment Deadlock's like really strong, and I think it probably pairs best with out of all the duelist Raze at the moment anyway. So I do think you'll see a little bit of an increase in Raze, but I'm honestly not expecting it to be too much. I imagine teams will just lean heavier into Yoru, and then honestly I think some teams will lean heavier into Neon as well if they have like a good Neon player.
See if they figured out those kind of sentinel setups on their defense this time around.
Yeah, and you got to feel pretty confident right out the gate as well.
Tomorrow will be the last day of Teo. Yeah, I'm so glad, dude.
It does help
I'm so
when you get
glad.
to the lower bracket.
Yeah, it's very strong, but I think HERETICS has, like Kakuka said, they have a good team behind them.
Waylay? I mean, Waylay, I don't think Waylay looks good long term, to be honest. I don't think Waylay looks good full stop, but I think Waylay doesn't look good if you have a demo on Waylay as well, to be honest. I think it gets antied a lot of it. I've only liked 2 Waylays, to be honest. Liquid's Lotus and G2's Ascent.
Thank you very much, Yitsu. No pressure at all. A BO5 in front of us. 2 incredibly talented teams and matching up in the lower
Petra, I think she hasn't got a team at the moment, so I think she's just doing this to see if she's any good at it.
This time, Vitality were sat there waiting in that upper bracket final.
The chat's overlaid slightly. Yeah, thank you for that.
To be Fnatic, and one of them will get a second chance of being able to take them down and fight for that trophy. The fact is, though,
yeah, Waylay's just map dependent, I think.
A quick 3-0 Team Liquid were in flying form, and although that form is still there, HERETICS throughout this stage have really built on that momentum. Sure, it took a blip versus the same team that defeated Liquid. But I do think that, especially kicking things off on Haven,
Liquid has not won a single of their 12 retakes on Haven this stage. Dude, that's such a brutal. Well, let's see if they can get a retake, man.
This is the challenge that they faltered at last time. The 3-0.
Let's hope that they've got the stats so they know not to play retake. Pretty hard on Haven, you're pretty much always retaking. Liquid on defense, HERETICS on attack, and Genji double sheriffs.
See some aggression. The shield popped on ISO. and the control taken, but it's this middle battle for Serial. Looking to find that opening pick. The flash is good, and the pick goes to Heretics.
That's exact start.
Oh my goodness,
So they were
Woo.
looking for Panic.
Hello?
Quick to respond though. Putting things back
Dude, I'm
into
glad
an
we didn't
even
see his
scenario.
POV there. That must have
Heretics maybe
been
not being the
that
best
must
for
have been
Liquid, but
awful.
The fact is, already a man to the good. They're in a good position here, and Camo strikes, leaving just one standing, but that one is Miniboo. He's been having an insane tournament, even spots out the last man, but that last man is
TPOA
Nats.
could be nice. It's a
Maybe
good
one
plan
of
for
the
him.
few that could match him, but with an open plant, he will reposition back towards middle.
He goes for the full
Doesn't
wrap
even
already.
know if it's a
Don't have
fake
time.
TP
Already
yet.
put
Dude,
under
what a
pressure by
nightmare.
that clock. The tap from Nats has to confirm that it's not being diffused.
Wait, what a nuts round from Miniboo. I think that counts as a 1v4, to be honest.
He might have been quieter yesterday, but a Red Bull clutch.
Yeah, they kind of
to
lined
kick
up
off
the
this BO5.
2 at A link.
This is why I always want to see the Heretics squad pick this map of Haven. I feel like it gives them
God,
that
Woo must be
momentum
like,
boost
thank you
at
for
the
winning
start
that,
of every
mate.
single
I
series.
completely
They've been
messed up.
playing it throughout the entirety of the tournament, and for Miniboo, you mentioned it. I don't even think he
Oh,
had
they
a poor
lined
performance. He
up,
had
dude.
probably
That's
his
so
worst
unlucky.
performance we've seen the entire stage. He has been the highest ACS player all the way through stage 1, and yesterday he was missing. Well, today he's already pulled
this
off
is
an
an
absurd
overbuy.
clutch, and we are one round in.
This shows a
Great
little bit of
signs
desperation
what's
in
to
my
come.
books.
Now, Team Liquid
That's a
might
big
be one of the
overbuy.
strongest teams when it comes to those anti-ecos, and they've
3
even invested in
sheriffs.
themselves here, given an
3
opportunity.
people that
to
most
take
likely
across
gonna have
the
to
line
go
with
light
3
armor.
sheriffs in play. So definitely somewhere that they need to be careful. But touching on the veto, Tom, Ascent up next. Definitely a map that looks stronger for Liquid. You look at that defensive side, and it's going to be a lot for Heretics to break through. So I really agree with you. This is somewhere that we need to see Heretics have that strong start if they're going to have that heartbeat in the series. Because the next, I have a little bit of doubt about how competitive it will be.
I am surprised we didn't see Liquid pick split, though. I feel like although they've had a few blips there, that was kind of where I thought their strength truly would lie.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of
they
nice from
lost
Liquid
to,
at the
I think,
moment.
some
They've
very
also
good
changed their
anti
walls up from the walls they were
the
doing
last couple of
yesterday.
times it was played.
This
I think
is
Ascent, when you
Heretics
have that
using the
double
Marshal,
duelist
just
again,
like
where we've seen Wu
the
picking up
solo
the
ghost that would
operator.
go
I don't
searching.
know. I think there's still opportunities.
Yeah, and they just wait for the
on that
wall
next
insta
one. I
boss
do
over
see what
towards
you
site,
mean.
knowing
This
that
is
they'd probably
where
be stacking the
we
other
truly
site.
have those expectations. And while
Nice,
that
easy
1-2
start for
punch,
them.
we've seen the one in the last round. This is the second.
Could be something to do that they don't buy the Outlaw, sure, but then I think
Most of the time, like we
you would
said, Team
then
Liquid, they
press
present
tab after
dangers,
this, look
but a
at the
lot of this
money and
danger was
potentially
towards
buy
A,
it.
was that short double
I
stack
think
up
they
where
should
looked
be,
to pick
like
them
they shouldn't be
apart.
as
Team Heretics
rigid
split
as
the
that.
control, but the C-long push, the opening pick for them as well, and now a safe post plan. That's a lot of the danger averted. Those pistols now have to push into you. By the looks of things, well, Nats is obviously waiting for a lurk, waiting for someone to come peeking around, but they'll just be playing the exits here, not throwing themselves at the round to try to win it, but still trying to make it costly a little bit later.
Not doing great for the retake
Go
stats.
down to the spike.
That's true.
Stop some of those high impact ultimates from coming online.
Maybe
as well.
even the pistol counted
And she's
towards
gonna
it
be
as
the one
well.
hunting down the kills.
Kind of was a
Maybe not
retake.
the person I'd be expecting to go forward with the Marshal, but at this stage it was all about getting out of there. And the
Yeah,
remaining two
this is nice from
will
Wood
just go
though,
down
is
to that
getting
spike.
close to the
Heretics
result.
keep it clean
Dodgy,
enough.
thanks so much for the tier 1, dude. Appreciate the
We'll now look
36
to
months. Thank you for that. Thank you, thank you.
Try and see what they can do here versus the full buy of Liquid.
As we said, for Team Liquid, that attempt to take weapons out of hands doesn't really go according to plan. Team Heretics avoid most of the danger, so a solid start to this map. Round 3, though, where we see those rifles come into play on both sides. A couple of weaknesses for Team Heretics, but due to how they bought up, they're still in good form. And that Marshal, we've seen it do a ton of damage in these
Good,
round
we get back
3s
into
before,
game. What is
so
this?
no comfort
That's a late
for Team
cut.
Liquid. No easy round to be
Insta
offered up.
salvos
I
for
like the
their...
double stack
Wait, they
up
tried to
early and long.
combo Gravnet salvos
Heretics
at the
have already seen
beginning.
Well, yeah, I think
I don't know,
what we
I
always
felt
have
like
be
people were in
careful of
position to get
lower
hit
buy
by that.
rounds like this is how explosive
Don't
this
know entirely
composition
what
can be
happened.
from Heretics. You're coming up with the ISO that obviously gives you that first ability to take a shot without going down, and then Miniboo can just take himself across the map in a matter of seconds. So they have to be very aware. It's where I think this double sentinel will definitely help them out. And I'm looking at the C site right now.
Dude, looks like
There
every
is an
single time they're
abundance
trying to
of
hit the
utilities ready
wall and
to
then
try and slow this push.
work out when it's going to break or just
Usually very good
go
at those
wherever the
round
wall is
twos.
at the moment.
Heretics very good at the round 3s as
Dude,
well.
look
so
at the Uto here.
the best in the league as well. See if it adds up to success with the punchy comp showing.
Okay, insert one over towards Garage.
But that's because of this
Do a lot of pressure over towards A, and hey, that was nice as well. This is kind of cool. You grab neck close or over towards window, it leaks out towards here, and you salvo this, but the salvos also leak out and cover these two. Wait, that's really cool. The salvos are so big. As if the Gravnet gets below here as well, by the way.
I think Camo pulled a pistol out. That's a bit of a blip. In fact, a massive blip with one
Patty actually needs to kill everyone.
Just be there to save the day, though.
That's a good TP from Boo, man. That's a big TP from Boo. I like that little micro plan from them. No matter what, they get in the trade.
In the match yesterday and already kicks this one off with a bang, leaving him facing off against Benji on the other side. 21 HP, but the time on his side.
Slowly ticking away, a patient player. Like you said, that one bullet needed to take him down. Serial has to make the right call, though. Spotting out that angle, and he's seen him now, but Benji's on the trigger.
We got 1v1, 1v4s at the moment that they're winning. So it's a rough start for Liquid. Dude, what happened on site here? They can't be getting. Oh, that's fine. Okay, I mean they both got wrecked.
Well, he's caught unaware.
I want to say that was like a fat finger or something. Like it just slipped and just.
Nah, I think they thought they were Loads Garage, to be honest. I don't think they were ready for this.
I also want to mention round 1 and round 3 are now clutches that have been won by a player with barely any HP left. Like that has got to weigh on your mind a little bit if you're over on that Liquid side, because you are in a position where these rounds are very much winnable. There's opportunities.
Camo, I mean, he either pressed the wrong button, or he was really sure with the info here and whatever. Whatever the comms were, that there was more people towards Garage or some kind of C-split.
Not quite sure what we're seeing on this.
I love how EMEA now refuse. They refuse to do the red lights.
Not yet. Not yet.
Hasn't gone red.
Any moment now, Tom. I do agree with you, though.
The person that has the button to make it go to tech pause, man, he's just not allowed to press it.
I really don't like it.
Yeah, we've got Sentinels fans in.
You gotta press that button, my guy. Come on.
It's quite a journey, I'd imagine. But yeah, it's gonna. He
got fired. Yeah, they told him like, dude, if you every time you push that button, we're deducting 100 euros. Every time you push that tech pause button, 100 euros has gone out of your salary. He's just here like, man, I can't press this anymore. I can't be pressing it. He's got no money left.
Doesn't look like they're destined for that just yet. One thing to keep an eye on as the game goes on, though, is man like
Is it fixed?
Someone that was able to turn the tide of a lot of the rounds the last time they faced. I think he was 9-1 in opening duels as a Sentinel. When they came towards him, or when they left that space
everyone
behind,
that can get one shot, and a bit of a change up from Liquid just pushing aggro, but kind of feels like Heretics are on top of this.
That gap of utility, we even saw it yesterday, cost them a lot when it
This
came
is,
to Icebox.
I mean, this is nice from Heretics as well. They're going to make sure they get the ISO onto next round. That's a freebie.
Elbow shown, and Outlaw more than enough to take you down.
Yeah, I think to touch on what you were saying about Nats, I think we're seeing him in some of the best form in a while. Like, I think the switch up to IGL did take a little bit of toll, but I think you can see that the comfort's now there, just in terms of him not only being a leader, but then also
it's
being
good
able
info
to
as well. No overpeaks on this one. Reclear a middle as well once the camera's gone down.
In the entirety of the league right now.
Yeah, they can probably just go over towards A. There's a world where they don't expect him close because of the camera, but I don't think so.
Only a pistol.
Norlard, thank you so much, Norlard. Appreciate the tier 1, mate. Thank you, thank you.
They're clearing him too. They know all of his little tricks. They know you got to clear those corners.
I don't think they know.
Would you rather fight 100 mini-sized flies or 100 fly-sized minis? 100 fly-sized minis, surely.
Destined now for Team Heretics. Team Liquid sending up that early
especially if they can't fly.
But Benji is watching it like a hawk. Even had backup from Woot, leaving Camo all alone. 1v5. And the question of damage, a valid one to ask, but the economy so stacked up in the attacker's favor already that
mini-sized fly, yeah, dude, that's crazy. Especially if he can fly as well.
You're going to find it very hard to break the bank of Team Heretics.
They're the same size.
It's not only a map that they thrive at, but it really does seem like the second that momentum gets going, they're almost impossible to stop.
Zach in the YouTube chat, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you doing that. He asks, do you think Paper X and the ACL will benefit them more, or it will drain their performance? Nah, I think it's fine. It's time that they probably would have taken off anyway after qualifying. I don't think it will matter too much, to be honest. Like, in reality, it's probably 2 days that they would have spent on practice. That's about it. They're playing it pretty chill. They're not showing anything. I think they only lose like 2 days extra of practice.
And I don't mind it. Like, you've now got a good buy. This is where you're coming in with an ult or 2 to play with, or at least some getting close.
There's good money in that ACL thing, though, right? I think.
Keep it up. I don't think has been like you've lost 2 rounds where you were eco and 2 rounds where it came down to 1v1s. Like, it could be a very different story, but you now need to step into things.
Well, what's the grand final? I don't think I have streaming rights for it.
As you said, the money maker round that you just saw, it's going to leave
it's 160k prize pool, dude. That's crazy. Dude, for like an off-season, tournament as well, just in the middle, that's nuts. Chat, how can they're allowed to run that tournament midway through the season? Can anyone do that? Like, if K-Corp wanted to run their own tournament, could they do something similar, like a 4-team tournament?
It's what, a 4-win streak now when it comes to Haven. Sure, there's a lot of tape, but it's difficult to match pound for pound with what's on the server today.
Also, the
money? It's a different company, isn't it? Or it's the same company? Oh, okay, I get you. Yeah, money talks, I guess.
It's fairly basic, but the intricacies of how they use it is what makes it more complex. And a lot of the other
Elizabeth, hello. How we doing?
Online,
are we hydrating?
Take space, and then Wu take the player. So it
definitely not the first sip of the stream.
So it really is complex to
okay, timeout came in. The problem is they're up against the 2 ults, which means that you pretty much win the rounds with this comp.
Is exactly what we're talking about. Just mass amounts of space, all the sensors being set up.
Oh no, they're playing retake.
No effect. That's the whole setup.
The stats don't look good for them here. And okay, this is kind of nice though from Liquid. They go fast with this one. Same ult that means that they can take space from Heaven. Ooh, Camo, what?
Camo's got another, and the A site now fully retaken. 4 players on the site, 1 in spawn. That leaves a gap, and one that Benji has slipped his way into.
Oh, they're on top. They're on top of the fact that someone would have taken some kind of space, though. Dude, look at this. It actually might be a hard retake, this one. I know it's 3v5, but they're so far away.
Well aware of the potential of someone flanking in towards the back of the A side, but it's more so once that spike goes down.
The cars, yeah, these are the 2 ults that should be winning you rounds, and they both die, of course.
So whenever Nats decides, he will get that extra little bit of information.
Yeah, and they're probably going to save the camera for the retake on this one. Even though I'll tell you what, the information will be good. Dude, look at her. I see Rian's right now is like trying to spam the camera. I don't know if Nat's checked her, if he actually got it. He spent about 10 seconds trying to spam that thing.
Nats was even watching for that walk through B to spawn this whole round, essentially. Now playing for the retake. The paranoia already in. Reveal is good. Camo still manages to win the fight. Through the cage, he's dropped Rian's. And a 4v2 that they're now left in.
So they find out they're both here, they can just stick there.
The spike being diffused, they've got to get a move on and right into the waiting arms of Serial and Kiko.
Hey, this was nicely done though. I mean, this is all down to Camo just being a beast. Problem with that is you can't really repeat those kind of rounds, but they did get 2 ults out of them, so it's a lot of impact.
Rounds in their matchup yesterday. An ace even to close it. It seemed like there was no one in the server that could match up to his individual brilliance.
Good sign as well is like Liquid definitely on top of the fact that their retakes haven't had good success rates, so this fast flood over towards A as soon as they lost it was cool. They used the same ult protocol that they used in their actual retake, where they ult like this and then take the space. This time they just do it for the fast flood. It's kind of cool.
They're not shying away though, and neither is Camo. Tries to go for that early fight,
Camo's feeling it, mate. Jaws, thank you so much for the 31 mums. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a big spanner in the works for the attacking side.
Devastated for BBL. Yeah, I'm still thinking BBL had a good season though. They should be pretty happy.
But that last round, even caught by the ISO ult and able to take down Woot. Well, you talk about how difficult it can be to deal with him when he's coming in popping heads, but It wasn't to be seen in the previous. Information off the Cypher ultimate. Team Heretics now know what they're up against. They see these players on site, but they're not deterred. Ultimate pop by Serial. He's going to be suppressed. Can't get that old pop down.
No way.
In with the double.
That
The
suppress
A-side
is
there.
insane.
Great reaction by Woot, completely denying the what seemed to be safe play for Team Liquid and leaving them with a disadvantage on the retake.
Impact.
It's the ISO, man.
Annihilation. If it connects, that could have been a true difference maker. And Nat's trying to peek into the dog pick. I don't even think he saw anything before his head was ripped clean off. Nice shot from Kiko.
Ooh, got an extra dink on that. Okay, that
still as crispy as ever.
that Woot double damage suppress actually just won the round. It really did.
Again, another high impact
ISO's very strong at the moment.
I think coming into the
ISO's very strong.
Of Split 1 has been a true force to be reckoned with. Again, didn't have the best.
This is what's gonna be so fun about
Icebox yesterday.
This is gonna be so fun about Toronto. Like where do people go?
Already in this map, 9 and 2, Miniball alongside him 8 and 4. They're having a cracking start to this map.
Wonderful reaction by Woot though. Suppressing Serial when the ultimate is popped. That's got to be frustrating. It would have been a free pick. Otherwise, Camo, he's a very close and deep block in the smoke by Boom.
That's rough. It looks really desperate at the moment for Liquid though. It's just Camo making solo plays. Was a little bit unlucky obviously in the smoke.
The one real hope that they had, and now that weapon is down on short in the open and irretrievable.
Jaws, thank you so much for the bits, mate. Who are your 4 making champs from EMEA? I mean, I would include the same 3 that we already have here. Who gets the 4th spot?
You're going to put your best map in the 3rd slot, so even if the first couple haven't gone the right
Dude,
way.
that's hard to call.
I definitely like this choice from Heretics. We've said it before that
it's actually going to be really open.
They are considerably unfavored on.
I would have to look at the champs points, man. You'd have to go with
Really nice net coming through from Serial, but
you just have to look at champs points more than anything else, because I don't see any of the other teams actually getting like 1st or 2nd.
Nats remaining. And it's Nats, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. They might be able to get 1 here, but anything else I think would have to be a miracle.
I like the fact that Miniboo's already dead, but he comes in and shoots the decoy.
Vitality have 6 champs points, but how many do BBL have? Vitality are above BBL by 1 point right now. Ah, dude, it's going to be really close then.
You say you'll give him 1, but
I think Vitality have to make a change for me to believe.
They'll punish if they go aggressive.
And I hate saying that about teams, but that team is cooked. Strengthen, thanks so much for the prime. Thank you.
He's taking a risk here.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Rifle could be finding its way into Nats' hands if he was in a different position, but caught up in heaven. There will be no choice.
But it's also just the economic damage isn't that high. He's already got his ultimate. So for Nats in this scenario, just not giving them the orb, not giving Woot the opportunity to get that kill contract online ready for the fight, it's worth it. Like, because the thing with the kill contract that makes it such a valuable ultimate, sure, you get an advantageous 1v1, but that's not the main thing. If you have these site anchors, which you look at Liquid's comp, they've got 2 players that pretty much sit within that bracket of if you can take out Nats, if you can take out Serial, a lot of the delay disappears. Even if they're removed from their setup.
Wait, Avery, that's kind of crazy.
That can be enough for the rest
I might
of the
get you
team
to
so you do not
Twitter DM me that, if that's a thing.
Coming online all too often for Liquid.
Yeah, this is looking rough, but I think this was always going to happen on Haven.
Slipping away from them and
they also start on defense of Haven against the comp that's like really good on attack. But in theory, their comp should be good on defense.
The fact that both pauses are already burned up, you can see the stress eating away at them early
Florabunda, thanks so much for the 24 months. Thank you for the 2 years, dude. Appreciate
coming
that.
into this attack side for Team
The
Heretics,
change, yeah, I mean, they either have to bring in an IGL or something different, right? Like there has to be a change of IGL, basically. Whether it's like bringing in someone and then Safe just goes fragging or...
Pretty much destroyed the last time that these teams were facing, whether it came to early or late duels. He was not having a wonderful time, and now he's leading the charge on the server.
Wait,
not
how did
just
you
9-2, not just chipping away, but 2 big 3Ks
Wait, this is crazy,
that secured rounds.
How did
that
you get all of
otherwise
these?
Up for grabs
All of the
in the other
bombs.
direction. And having heroes like that online early, having Miniboo activated as well, it's a good sign for Heretics. how this BO5 is going to swing.
I think the stats speak for themselves as well. 71.2%
That's
round
nuts.
win rate on Haven. So not only are they
okay, second timeout. Let's see if they can get anything. Dude, I mean, they got the AWP to retake, but nothing's been working for them retake-wise. Big changer from Heretics as well. Just wanted to hit over towards B now.
That's why they wanted to start.
Maybe they're going to start reinforcing the A side a little bit stronger, or the sites they've been hitting.
Going to see that Hunter's Fury utilized by Rians, looking to try and garner the team extra space, but nothing really being
Why do they exclude China in some of the stats? Just API stuff. API just wasn't on a lot of the Chinese servers at the beginning, so they couldn't get the confirmed stats.
Emerges from the old victorious Miniboo. Good flash as well. Stops that left side peak, as does the suppress going through. They've picked up the advantage back in their favor. They've got their back secured and numbers looking down on mid. It's going to be difficult to get that defuse tapped already by Team Liquid just to get the utility out. But there's more on its way. A reveal in the smoke, and now
it looks so rough, man. It's looking really rough, dude.
Panicking, but Liquid are, as another round falls into their opponent's hands with relative ease. And we've seen before, the stat popped up, the retakes for Team Liquid. I think what we saw earlier was their first successful retake when it came to Haven. And this one, well, it's just another defeat.
Yeah, well, I guess you look back to
Swim Dizzy, I think I missed your sub, and Balaka as well. I think I missed yours as well. Thank you so much, Steve.
So I guess they just didn't have a very good defense overall.
No, yeah, the defense is getting wrecked, man. And they probably, I mean, it kind of got wrecked a little bit yesterday as well.
I'm quite surprised, though, that how quickly
Bacon, thank you for doing that.
I think just there's still plenty of time for them to challenge. I think just realizing that with the amount of spams that were coming through, they were never going to be able to get that defusal over the line. And wanting to make sure they at least have something to play within this round, but that was probably one of the closer we've seen in the last few. They've been incredibly clean from Heretics. And while now coming in with weaker weapons, you're talking about hero plays again, which have all been on the other side.
Exactly, yeah. The big clutches, the 4K pistol, the 3Ks by Benji.
I guess Camo had one.
He did. He had a good round. They haven't given him the rifle, so no respect for him. It's Kiko and Nats to pick those up. Now is set up alongside Nats on B. It's going to be a mid-crunch. Already seeing that contact outside of B.
Wait,
Nats with the double.
Dude, that must look kind of crazy.
Clear, resounding
I guess they lined up.
Heretics. They put some players in the dirt. The rifle recovered.
Instant
death for Serial as he touches it. Another 3-piece for Benji. Make that 4. This guy is on fire today.
The problem is they need 4.
8-1 for Team
They
Heretics.
can win everything, yeah.
Look, the next map looks better for Liquid, but if it keeps up like this, Tom, even they'll have
Tai Tao even with the Prime. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you for that.
This guy coming in at the end of 2023 as a clout pickup. that was where we were. We were looking at the tier 2 squads. He
calm taps.
Through, and even still, when he came to Heretics, they went, he's got a lot of followers though, innit? That's the reason he's picked up. Now currently sits 13-3. In this server, having to been to a Champions final, a Masters final.
Dylan Jordan as well, thanks so much for the Prime, mate. Appreciate that also.
As of right now, it seems
like some kind of changer from Liquid, just insta drone, try set up the Yoru to hold and get early info on C as they can heavier stack garage and B. The drone on A sees nothing, they can just walk in.
He knows that those opening duels didn't go so well for him last time. He avoids the fight with Camo. Keeps the information, rotates around. A side already taken, but Nats has managed to find himself an angle around that smoke. A double pickup already.
Damn, Nats did insane though. His Trip managed to get the kill.
Another hero play needed. Miniboo on the site.
Oh, Miniboo looks nuts. Dude, where was this Heretics yesterday? Look how good they all look. Like, where was this Heretics yesterday? We're actually just popping everyone.
Benji's clutching out rounds, and what hope is left for Team Liquid?
All I'm going to say is everybody's going to be stealing Benji Fishy's aim training routine after this one. That was just so clean with the final shot, even managing to dodge the ultimate just seconds before that annihilation.
Miniboo did so much, man.
At the end of the round was Serial. Gotta be nice to have him on your team. Well, Rian, someone we've talked about so much, hyped up so much, as one of the best players within the whole region, if not the best. He's currently in the backpack, 3 and 4, hasn't had much to do. He'll set up a dart or 2. Boo joins the party. This is a slaughter.
Nah, this is a slaughter. Yeah, it's a rough watch at the moment.
It's not just the kills that come in here, it's the read from Team Heretics. They're going to make a play. They're going to try to get aggressive with those weaker buys. Let's just pump the brakes, spread the net. They've got players watching everything. They've got Woot able to rotate between helping C-Long or helping the double doors, and he wasn't needed on C-Long with Boo just cleaning it up like that. You talk about Benji as well. This is a guy, sure, he could look at Cloud pickup early on, but he did his time in the tier 2. He was playing on Enterprise for a long time.
Yeah, they're not messing about. Your old spots too. Clear the whole of the site. Spoo watching behind. It broke.
This round is looking signed, sealed, and delivered into Team Heretics. Double digits. Almost without a doubt on the board, a big clutch needed, and there's just nothing going their way. You call out Rienz, and he steps up to the plate. A home run for Heretics. 1 round left to compete for. 1 round on the board for Team Liquid.
Yeah, an in-zone flawless, and Rienz has
be a
got
fast one, right? What's the time on this?
He's still,
oh, we had the tech pause, man. The tech pause wrecked it.
10-1. I want
25 minutes at the moment.
To kickoff, where we even heard in the video from Mixwell, the team didn't feel like they'd fully recovered off the back of what happened to Champions, a tough loss. In that kickoff lower bracket final, they lost map 1-13-4, map 2-13-4, map 3-13-7. It's already looking like a very different story, even if by some miracle Liquid managed to turn this map. They've already got more rounds than they did in the first 2, and well, Woot's already got that opening pick onto
Wait, what?
The wraparound is solid though, really good adaptation.
Yeah, maybe they didn't expect that, but I don't know, they should know about that strat, really.
3. Another pickup as well with Kiko closing up that back, making it through the window, and leaving Benji with a very impressive
well, they doubled it at the end, but I mean, you got a double Sentinel comp on attack. It's going to be about getting the confidence up, that's for sure.
10-2 though, it doesn't seem like it'll be enough.
Yeah, there's going to have to be a serious swing if there's going to be any chance for Liquid to be able to turn this back in half number 2. Otherwise, it seems like Heretics are running away with Haven. We'll find out after the break.
13-10 for sure, yeah. The comp is good on attack. I mean, the comp should be fine on attack as well. And like the Heretics comp is like not the best on defense, but man, this is too many. Okay, let me quickly mute this so we don't get wrecked. Bacon, did you see this? Bacon, I found this funny, man. It's like all the teams, and it gives like a little rundown of everything they've done. Look how dirty they did us. Look, they get top 4. Where's our top 4? They get 3rd. Where's our 3rd? Just erased from history. Like we never did anything. Crazy. Get wrecked. Yeah, it just doesn't count apparently. They don't have anything intern. Wait, do they have anything intern? No, it's all international results, so that wouldn't be in there anyway, but can. Vector with the Prime, thank you for the 14 months. Thank you for that.
Well, it has been a dominant start from Team
Fnatic took up all the space. Yeah, Fnatic gets everything, man. Yeah, like, do you know what? Actually, let's get rid of all those.
Off to a slow start. Who knows what Ascent will hold, but for now, we have to finish off Haven. For Heretics, they just got to tap it in. A pistol round here could swing
Mini needs it more, oh my goodness.
Unrecoverable position for that attacking
side.
Dude,
they could have stopped though. They had the champs, champion in champion in Brazil, champion in Japan. They could have just left it there, but they had to include the other ones, but not ours.
It was a really impressive comeback by that attack side. The problem is,
I mean, I'll stop believing in 10-8.
To play against Minibu's going to be under some serious pressure and will be dealt a death blow, but already look at the response. The defense looking to wrap round from behind.
How's Boo done that?
The Cypher on either side, the IGL of Nats, and while Benji Fishy, who's been in the finest of form so far this map, have to face off. He might just slip the net. The cam is holding on the corner. He's been spotted, but already manages to deal so much damage on towards Nats. Will get away with destroying his sneaky little bit of utility. Who would have guessed him? Is that another clutch for Benji Fishy?
Unreal, and especially when you look at these two players in particular, Nats and Benji. Last time they faced, it was a different story. Nats was diffing him individually, and now the Wonder Kids come through with another big round, but it's Boo we have to look at here. How he gets 3. Nats was waiting inside that smoke.
Oh my god. Oh, right click into left click? That was kind of nice though.
Benji Fishy aim is here. Yeah, Nats aim is here, bro.
Oh my goodness. Jesus.
And it's just another free campaign for the Heretics Classic.
Don't let Nat see that before map number 2. Or if you're a Liquid fan, do let Nat see that before map number 2. And he'll come back with a vengeance. The man who's been around the block and is still in his early 20s. Mini boot under pressure, but you'll never believe it.
How's that a headshot, man?
Shot onto Camo.
This guy actually always gets one with a Marshall.
Just so you know, Liquid have invested into this round. They've got the stingers. Maybe trying to take a leaf out of BBL's book, but already a man down.
Who's on his way up here? He's going to see that trap and try to make a pass. There's a judge in front of Nats. It's a tough fight for Nats.
Where the hell is that second judge shot gone? How's he missed the second judge shot?
A second pick for the Cypher. Serial takes inspiration. Doubles up on that fight and leaves Benji alone. Another
not again.
Needed for Benji Fishy. I believe it would be another 3K as well. Time the force buy of Team Liquid seems to have found success. Kiko's already been rooted. Great bait by Ben.
There's no time.
Time is
I mean, damage is good though.
But still an unbelievable attempt. You win the round, but you've got to feel like Heretics are the ones walking.
Yeah, I kind of really want to see it from Woot's POV, but
for Benji Fishy, 18-4.
You're right, it is a Liquid win. And credit has to be given to the likes of Serial and Nats and just the sheer amount of time that ended up being bought, but I mean,
Serial played good.
He manages to get those remaining kills, 18-4. But that was a lifeline. That was the small amount of hope that's been given. Liquid will be able to come in with a purchase, and on the other side, sure, there's
they get
still a few pieces. That outlaw
why have they gone for a hero outlaw, man? Why?
Dead within seconds.
1, 2, 3, and this was a one-shot as well, right? Yeah, it's actually my winner mid as well. They got the little bait set up, TP'd away.
Some of Heretics modest, they've seen Benji, but now he's being spotted in the corner. It's a fight against Nats.
Oh man, Benji played that so well.
He's taken him down before.
Then they had the deeper smoke as well after.
Well, for Team Liquid, I suppose, but also for Heretics.
He's full armor, sorry. Oh, okay.
A 5 versus 3 in a round where they far outgunned their opponents.
Yeah, and you got the insta setup of the outlaw over towards A as well.
The curse of Liquid in this round is that
all of the heavy armor's dead.
The pieces they had to watch out for have been the pieces that they met for Woot and Rians. And Boo at that, there is very little to play with. And a post plant here could be the thing that undoes all of those vulnerabilities. Boo.
30 seconds left.
Just waiting in case they try and go back towards the other side. He's heard the plant, has the paranoia, but is completely sectioned off from the rest of the team, at least for now.
It's going to be a while before he can break through that. Got the numbers to work with.
Dude, they must be looking at the smoke that Boo did this like
close. The ult is going to be popped by Serial as well, and he's caught him. That's one player down. Oh, but they've not caught Woot!
Yeah, maybe the comms didn't come in about the smoke fast enough.
Just before that sees, gives them a real chance with Patatek all alone on the backside.
Damn, nice shot.
Spotted out by Mini Boo. A 3-piece.
Did the hero buy an outlaw, and this is what it does to them?
Individual round for Team Heretics. They are looking by
they really
far
wanted
to be the better team, at least here on Haven.
They really wanted the heavy scoreline on that.
So many chances to close this out. And Team Liquid, well, they better have a lot of hope built up by that Ascent play this season, because the Haven ain't going anywhere near their favor.
Yeah, that's the problem. They now come into this round with severe limitations on the credits.
These are no scoping as well.
Of where they want to try and take this, and ideally, I think B would be
19 to 5. Benji Fishy, 5 deaths. That's it. 19.
By Miniboot. Still some hope in the crowd that there will be a response in this map, but they would need a streak even better than what they managed versus BBL. And while, let's be real, this Heretics squad have been a different beast. Nats trying to
I like the idea.
No sneaky play to be had, and instead they're walking into the Lion's Den.
The idea wasn't too bad.
Where that Lion is, but dealing with him has been a different
Dude, look at this guy, actual raid boss.
A quick double already for Benji. And while Patatek has been able to survive, but they cannot deal with the beast.
What happened? 22 to 5 he ended on?
3 decimation of Liquid. One better than what happened at
this was
kickoff.
really
We said
fast
Minibu
game.
activated, but Benji Fishy, the man of the hour. Unbelievable performance. Feels like we couldn't go 2 or 3 rounds without a 3-piece pickup by that man. Heretics looking dominant on map number 1. We'll find out if this series spells disaster for Team Liquid after the break.
Hold on. Okay, remember, Heretics. And then what, Fnatic? What is this aim? What the did you eat? Okay, look. Benji Fishy aim is here. Yeah? Nat's aim is here, bro.
I love you, Adas. Nice, thank you, guys.
Okay, lower final. Map 1 Haven. Benji? I mean, it's a giant turnaround from how he was playing in kickoff. Chat, I'll be back in a little bit.
Red Bull gives you wings.
What a stellar start from Benji Fishy and his 4 mates on the server there against Team Liquid. I'm your host, and I'm back here with Petra and Billy. You know, we set this up as the redemption, the revenge, and so on and so forth. Billy, I think Heretics might be a bit mad after yesterday. That was a slaughter.
I think they know as well that they need to get off to a good start, right? We were speaking about that before we went into it. They need to be able to get the momentum on their side. And oh my goodness, that was domination from them.
Yeah, Petra, it just never stopped. Once they started winning, that was it.
Yeah, I think Miniboo had a great start and it has a lot of a great impact on them. So yeah, good confidence, good domination, and I like that he started with abusing A and switched around.
Oh yeah, you love that. You love that. Now, I feel a bit bad for saying Benji and mates because, you know, Miniboo did all right as well. Rians didn't need to do anything. You know, he just had to be there because everyone else was just cleaning up. But let's talk about Benji the Fish, because before yesterday, he was rightfully the player that led EMEA #1 in pretty much every stat that mattered. He was on top. And when you have a player like this, Petra, it's just impossible to stop Heretics from winning.
Yeah, it makes everything easier, right? His lurks are perfect. When there's one down on the team, he joins the team and he's shooting hard on...
Oh, you lost your mind with that clutch.
Yeah, it is so clean. Look at his aim. Like, he is not missing anything. Even through the walls, he's hitting them.
Yeah, he's looking crispy today. Genuinely he is. I mean, he went +17 alone in that map, which is absolutely insane. And I think it's like you say, right, the value of the lurks and timings that he's able to get, which is insane when he's going up against someone like Nats, who's known for his lurks.
Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because the way that Rians was like, Nats' aim is down here, Benji, you're up there. The disrespect. And that's what we want to see. We want to see them get fired up. There's a spot in the grand finals here up for grabs. And Petra, you mentioned Miniboo. So tell me what you noticed that is a little bit different from him today compared to yesterday.
Well, first of all, he didn't got shot through all the smokes and all the abilities. And I think it's a very big difference when he has a good start, like I said earlier. It's bringing a lot to the team. And yeah, I think they're very dominant on their calls, and he's like, the go with it, Miniboo go, and also on the anti-ecos he was searching with his Marshall, and yeah.
They're very reliant on him sometimes, right? Billy, they need him to go in and actually just be the tip of that spear.
I think something that I was keeping an eye on throughout this match was the amount of kills that he was getting and what kind of like weapons he was using. Like you say, Petra, like he was using the Outlaw, he was using the Marshall, he used that half of the rounds that he ended up playing, which is insane when you actually have a look at those stats to figure out that actually half of that has come from sniper usage. So yeah, I think he had a great performance, and to that point too, I think that like there's so many players on this Team Heretics sides that they can rely on in those moments, which is what makes them such a great team, right? They have people they can rely on when they need it.
Yeah, and he's such an emotional player too. We know how hard he is on himself sometimes, so the confidence is back. He's looking great on the server, but the question is, can Team Heretics do it on Ascent? And Ascent for me is such a weird map for Heretics, you know? I can't tell if they like it or they don't like it, why they like it or not like it. This is like one of life's greatest mysteries, because they perma-banned it for God knows how long, and then they decided not to perma-ban it, and then Billy, I think they picked it one time. It's just all over the shop.
It's a little bit all over the place, right? And I think that, I mean, one of the times that we saw them play it was that loss to Apex at the very start of this stage, but they fixed it for playoffs, right? They managed to beat BBL on it the other day, but it's actually the starting sides that I'm looking at. So of course, because Team Liquid decided to pick this map, it means that Team Heretics, they're like, okay, well, we're just going to start on the defense, which I think is a great decision, right? We look at their attack win run percentage, it's sitting at 39% for Heretics, which is not great. We look at Team Liquid's defense win run percentage, it's 90%. That's insane.
Do you know what that tells me? That tells me Heretics are not going to run that Yoru Jet comp if they want to start on the defense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense if you start on defense, right? It's going to be very hard.
Right.
Hello, but let's talk about this comp from Liquid, because Petra, they're going to bring out the Cypher Deadlock possibly again. Tell me what that's like on Ascent. How strong is the double Senti on Ascent?
I mean, it's strong on defense. It could be strong on attack, depends how you're gonna use your initiator as well. But yeah, let's see. I guess they're used to playing double Senti, so probably works for them.
They love that stuff. Now, one thing that I think they don't really do when they with their double Senti is they don't really stack
that's a pretty good tweet.
Deadlock, right? We see them kind of separate
Does
them
actually.
a lot. I want to see them do some.
Actually
give the
look a
cheese
little bit
more
like
cheese. Because if you're gonna bring the cheese, you know, it better be some good cheese. I don't want to see that mozzarella, that basic stuff. Give me some like actual cheese. But that's the other thing. There's a lot of tape on what Liquid like to do on this Ascent, and knowing that Heretics probably doesn't bring the double duelist again. What can they realistically bring that's going to be good against this double Senti? What are some of your favorites, Petra? What do you think?
Well, I guess if you want to break the util, then maybe they should add Deco.
Oh yeah.
That's a good thought. I mean, I know that they were playing the Waylay previously. It's just whether
I
or
no
not
longer
they
like
want
the
to go down
trophy.
that route again,
Nah, I like the trophy. It's good.
Miniboo didn't
Dude, we
look
gotta
so confident on it.
celebrate the
didn't
wins.
Have enough time
It's
to actually
it's
get
a good
the reps
trophy.
in on playing the Waylay. But I think he's in such a good headspace right now that if he wanted to dive in on that Waylay, like, I wouldn't be annoyed if they decided to go back to that.
Is there going to be a map out for the rotation? Yeah, Fracture and Sunset.
Yeah, but it's always
and then
been
in
a bit
theory,
weird
for
with
champs,
KO on
we'll
this
get
team because
maybe
you had
2 changes.
in the past saying
Whatever the
he
new
doesn't
map
like
is,
learning
it's
lineups,
getting
he
shown
doesn't
at
remember
Toronto,
lineups,
and then
Boo has to play the KO, and then
maybe another one on
the
top of that.
knock-on effect of that is a bit weird.
This might be the most
But I
map
like the
changes we've
table
had in a
shell,
year, if that
as
is true.
Rian stares into my souls. What am I thinking, Rians? What am I thinking? I mean, I'm always...
He's telling us he's not playing Deco, I think.
Do you reckon he's trying to communicate?
Isabella is the one that like got a
anything, right?
lot
He's the kind of player that it's very
retweets and
similar to
likes.
Leo, where if he plays the Sova, happy days, it's going to be a great day on the server. At this point, if Rians wants to come and play Duelist, that's cool as well. He's Turkish. Like, I would...
The one that had all the...
you know, am I ever going to doubt him?
Aim.
Yeah, in this space. But one thing with Team
had all
Heretics
the,
is they've played a lot of
subtitles and
best of
stuff.
fives. They've lost a lot of best of
5
fives.
points,
And
yeah,
they've
that'll
won
be
a
the
lot of
one.
map
That's
ones.
crazy.
6 times in those best of fives they won map 1, but ended up then going on to lose the entire series. But they baited us.
Old school against new school.
They will play the double duelers. And Petra, is it a mistake to start on defense with this comp, you think?
I don't know, it depends what they prepared, I guess. They probably did prepare, otherwise they're not gonna play double duelist, but it's gonna be rough.
I think they've probably, yeah, like you say, prepared heavily for starting on this defensive side. They know that this is a strong
Hello,
map
Yumpy.
for
Hello.
TL. They know that Team Liquid have
Unlucky
been
yesterday,
leaning
man.
into that double sentinel.
It's still,
I'm
it's
expecting
still a
them
good
to
run, though,
try and get
Yumpy.
as many rounds as they can on the defense. And
He's still in a very
I'm
good
expecting
place
to
for
see a lot of
champs.
set things that they've got coming into this. Yeah, I'm wondering if they just decided to start the defense because they know Team Liquid's defensive side is so strong.
What did I eat today? I had the bacon special today
They make out
at KFC today.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a risk as well, especially considering we are in a best of 5, one that Heretics have historically not had the greatest record.
Yeah,
on,
you're in
but
a
they are
good
1-0 up
in a good
right now.
position.
It could
Wait, is that the
potentially be a
bacon
long day.
special,
Who knows?
Pecan?
Mitch and Tom, enjoy.
Well, all records out the window when it comes to this series. We talked a big deal about Nats and how
Icelander's KFC, yeah, but dude, it's probably the most expensive KFC you'll get.
Last time, over 85% of the duels he took, he won against that man. I don't know what the stats were for last map, but I bet they're not quite as impressive. That was unbelievable. But now we're on to Team Liquid's pick, and somewhere that they look a lot stronger.
Yeah, for sure. I think the good thing with this squad is I feel like they definitely have the ability to reset themselves. Like I think that they've got experienced players.
Okay,
like
we got Heretics on defense, we got Liquid on
Has
attack.
been part of that Heretics core, and we'll know that maybe that might.
Why do you think the Woot plays Jet instead of ISO on the map? Is in this map, Jet's just way better. You just dominate on defense. It works way differently to how Haven works. Like Haven, there's those positions where the ISO you have to force your way over towards sides. This is like you kind of got to force it. Well, could you play it on defense because you have the Yoru? Maybe you could play it on defense, to be honest. I'm not fully against it. I think you're also like limited on attack as well, so the Jet helps. Dude, if Liquid replied with a really strong map, that would be nice.
Very clean start.
Like we all build up for an insane split 5th map.
Is still lurking, still waiting around. Rian's currently blocked out by the barrier. Well, getting anything from this point onwards is going to be difficult. Talk about the difficulties at time of that double sentinel when it's on the attack, but once you get into defensive positions, that's when it really has its value. Those post plants can be filthy. And well, at this stage for Rians,
yeah, I mean, this is
all about just finding some extra.
This is normally what we talk about when you look at the Liquid comp. If it, Jesus, this might be an early overall. If you damn, bro. Okay, last one was kind of gifted to him a little bit, but everything else there was impressive.
Yeah,
if this Liquid comp gets over towards the site, they pretty much win if the deadlock's alive. That's how it works.
Taking them in droves so far.
Everything is expensive here. This is the default setting, yeah. But it's mostly food, man. Food's crazy expensive here.
It's going to be funny because if you're like a scoreboard warrior, you're going to look at that and go, Koreans get 4 kills in the pistol round, they still don't win it. Like, what were the rest of the guys doing? But you can see the Liquid side are not phased by this. I think Panitech, we heard the value from Heretics when he was on that squad of a guy like
okay, on defense, Rins buys a Sheriff because he got so many kills.
Pumped up. You know that map loss, although it was rough, it was quick and something easy to get
Empty
over.
site, Deadlock makes it over towards the site. It's a done round.
Phased at all. Even think back to them losing their map choice yesterday on Split to BBL. They got completely countered. They go into the next map. It's like it never happened. I think it came up with Camo getting aces throughout that map.
They might be, yeah, be enjoying that. Get a gun. Might be worth going for it now.
Every angle.
Also has the weakest weapon.
Exactly. And you talk about not being phased by that opening round. I mean, of all the rounds to lose practically all your players, that is the one, right? In the pistol, you're still going to come in on and not losing that much. A round like this, it would be a different story altogether. They're being contained on that attacking side. Rien's Sheriff in hand. A 4-piece here would traumatize the Team Liquid side. He's only good for 1.
They know, man.
Now they've seen him. Now they know he shouldn't be getting anything done.
Dude, I love that Wu tapped the spike there, man. I wonder if he was thinking about the Na'Vi round that happened.
Bringing forward the 2 decent rifles, the Spectre into this coming round.
Yeah, I guess when you have a buy on every player, that's a bit more damage than you would have liked, and it does mean that your bonus round is going to be a bit weaker than you'd like.
They're the worst in EMEA bonus rounds.
The stats in terms of bonus rounds, I think it does come down to that investment. Like a lot of teams are going for the sort of 2, 3 rifles, 2 pistols,
dude,
so then you can
that's kind of crazy.
Rifles. It will
I feel like normally they have really good ideas.
Quote-unquote bonus rounds that we have because a lot of teams aren't playing them as bonus rounds. Also means you're more likely to lose them, but that's a different story altogether. Liquid have been playing it safe.
It only ignores China because the API stats are harder to get. What an absolute shot that is. What the hell? We'll see the aim at the moment is on crazy levels. They get over towards the side, Deadlock's here. If they can fast flood before the Deadlock can set up, that's smart.
Not quite there, but Serial picks it up anyways, and what should have been a relatively convincing round, one that Liquid don't usually have a lot to say in, one that Liquid
do they even consider the Paddy Slack?
Disadvantage in terms of weaponry. This is looking like somewhere they'll find a lot of success. Benji, he's being flanked up on, but it's all about timing for Panitech. He can play this super slow, use the salvos to try to lock in the round, and that might be the best play. Playing the numbers, playing the time, but now he's got it all.
Yeah, very nice from Patty, brother. It's been solid, this late play.
Team Liquid. Weapons carried forward as well. This is exactly what they needed to get right back on the horse.
Yeah, starting things off with Camo.
The sample size is bigger. That's true. Because we were saying they played like 33 best of 3s, right?
A whole lot of information other than Serial's kit, and then what you can find with that solo drone. So you're even more reliant on that attack side from Camo.
Let's go.
You need him to be hitting his shots. Obviously, a lot of the time you're going to see poor stats on attack side Jets on this map because you're diving into choke points, diving into players waiting for you. But he found the important kill of the round, and while that's now buying
everyone can get one shot.
His aim was compared to Benji in the last map. As said, we'll see if that's something that they live to regret.
Nice shot by Panitech. A second on the follow-up, and the A side is theirs. Yeah, I think in that replay there, it was a little quiet, but I might have heard him say Heretics skill. Maybe someone did show him that clip. And if they did, that's a big mistake.
He probably said Heretics skill.
Too early, perhaps.
He said Heretics killer.
4-0 start. Seems locked in.
The thing is with Nats as well, you know he doesn't get angry. It's more like, he's like the sort of guy who goes, I'm not angry, I'm disappointed. And then we'll just rip them a new one on this next
I mean, they
map,
made
so
max on this one. They managed to get the ults early
scared.
on. So big buy rounds. Heretics might use their own timeout. They probably, I mean, they're going to have a couple of set strats with this, that's for sure. Especially with the camera. Do some kind of camera contact. You could do the insta combo. A lot of options.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say, right? It was a 13-4 map. BBL with very little to say when it came to Ascent when these two teams
the
faced
head-to-head in terms of Serial and Kamek. I think Kamek looked comfier,
start for Team Liquid. Well,
but that's purely because Serial hasn't played a lot of the roles that he's playing in these teams, like in this team.
Maybe they're just lowering it.
So I think you got to give him a little bit of time. But also, if like the general vibes in the actual team are better, then it's well.
No, I throw them in. And like,
and I don't think it changed that much, really.
Some of us can't quite make
That's why I can't do lineups, because they just...
I always said Bullseye was your favorite hero. I understand.
Zero and Senti, but he does look a lot comfier when he's on the deadlock. Yeah, I agree with that.
I gotta see that cosplay, Tom.
Yeah, I think I also have the head for Hitman, but that's not the point. Operator in play, Woot ready to go, but he's just been wrecked.
What is that shot? That's a fast shot.
By Serial. And
He didn't even stop running.
It had already gone the way of Miniboo, and of course it was Camo to be dropped. You look at the ultimates that are available. The Armageddon, Annihilation, two high-impact damage-dealing ults of very different degrees. There's not a lot of good places to stand if you're on the Heretics
It's a weird
side.
one for Boo at the moment.
A couple good rounds now. Looks like we're seeing Serial in full scrim form. Oh, what a dodge!
Ball goes up towards heaven. Sova ult.
Avoiding that annihilation. Hunter's Fury
Sova ult doesn't get anything. Nats tucks in.
Slow down this push, but Liquid still get the space. They take down Miniboo. They catch Boo coming out of the smoke. Serial with another. Now this round seemingly
whoa, okay, it was lovely timing on the push for a fast flash shot.
Between the last map and this,
I mean, yeah, it just kind of just looks like two dominant maps either side.
Like the 5th round in a row.
Natch with the Outlaw, yeah, that's what I was laughing at, pushing close to the Outlaw in heaven.
Like, who told him? Who was it? Who told him? Because it has looked like a different beast already.
Dude, what is that shot?
Yeah, I saw that in the moment. I was like, that looked filthy. And it was, okay, both the Serial's kills. It is the Sentinels leading the way at the moment.
Serial? Yeah, he's been playing good in playoffs. I've got to give him that. Again, I think it's just a time thing for him.
To back up what I was mentioning earlier, Liquid, 75% post-plant win rate on Ascent. And it is just, look at the comp. You get into post-plant with this comp, you have to first get past the sensors, or the trips, depending which way round, and then you have to look for the other. And that's all while remembering that the guy on the site is probably Nats, or Camo, Kiko, or Serial. You know, there's a lot of good players. HERETICS all right as well.
I was going to say, yeah, Paddy's just getting thrown out to the wolves, man.
Hey, he's the man with the salvos. He's, if anything, the scariest one in the post.
If anything, he should be on the site. Exactly. Yeah. He should be off the site.
Yes, I thought of that.
Yes. Very nice angle, Tom. 5-0 start. Team Liquid, whether it's drawing energy from the crowd, who didn't give up on them. Even when it came down to the final round of that previous map, they were behind. Team Liquid all the way, and now the reward, a 5-0
yeah, this is down to the comp though.
All those factors we
Not really what the
Miniboo
after-plant success rate is on this map. It's pretty high.
The op was shut down early. Benji not having that same level of success, and that would require him 3K clutching out several rounds in a row. But still, those things are not online right now. Team Liquid have put a stop to it.
We have to say as well that you remove that additional initiator from a composition like this that you might normally have while running a Yoru. That double duelist has to be popping, and both of them are currently bottom and second.
Volume higher? I turned up a little bit for you.
That's the only way this composition works, is of individual brilliance is there to take you through the round, and I think the Operator was a huge part of that on the defensive
side. What the Heretics change? The problem is Heretics are going to go aggro next round.
BBL. It's not even remotely possible anymore.
It's going to be too obvious, I think. Dude, he's incredible with a Marshall.
Road to recovery,
look
perhaps.
At it.
A second. Just as I claim, he's not online. He's been brought back into the fray. And Team Liquid now with a 2-man disadvantage still, though. Weaponry looking
fake
very good
with a spike?
Abandoning this position, though, will give the chance for some of those defenders to recover those rifles. Well, Perhaps not. 4 players on A and Liquid are walking into it.
Yeah, Miniboo was sort of the ruse. He was just meant to hold the line a little bit for the rest of the team. While Nats has tried to be cheeky and been met with a paranoia, they haven't baited out the one thing that is on the other side, and that's the utility, alongside a little bit of help from Riens. Or maybe he'll just do everything on his own. They finally got around. It's a pay save card, Thrifty, that will get Heretics onto
honestly,
the board.
out of all the rounds to whiff on though, probably the best round you can possibly whiff on.
So many players would top, but he
Dude, they got so many upgrades with this. This is a nuts round from Miniboo. It could actually change the whole map.
Shoot above him, so he's forced to fight me, and you can have the orb. That's the kind of guy you want on your team, leading by example.
What I love from our replay team as well.
What's that?
They wanted to make sure that we finally
Okay, they
saw
get the op out,
today.
they got the ults to the retake,
We
so
won't
let's
be
see if they
seeing them
can
in the
actually
server.
start holding down
Don't
any of
worry,
these signs.
they're in the crowd.
I thought they would go aggro here, but
Get out of my way.
they just want to get the op out.
A nice round by Heretics, but is it repeatable? Will Team Liquid fall into that trap again? It was a 2-piece by Miniboo and then a push into the stack. Little mistake by Nats, rushing out of his cage while still nearsighted.
Dude, just trying to break the drip.
I love that. Boo
He's
is
here the whole time. I don't see the fact it stays up is kind of strong.
It's just still
You're not
sitting there.
really
It
going to
hasn't
try
gone
and
anywhere.
disrespect this and duel this, even though we can see that
Paranoia
there is like a
was
safety line
correct.
that you could play behind it, which you would be
Execution,
fine
not
to
so
actually
much.
like
Now,
clear
Miniboo
this.
is in an incredibly
But I think
aggressive
last time you've seen it,
position.
you don't really instinctively know if
As
it
of right now, I was
overlaps.
going to say it doesn't have a way out, but he's waited for the drone. And
Oh,
will-
it suppressed him.
wait,
He can't get
will he
out.
forced out? No, he
Drone
didn't
suppress.
take the TP.
An audacious play. Overstays is welcome. 2 players on site. They haven't been spotted.
Wait, how did both of them not see him as well?
They don't expect the second. Riens gets the jump on the first, but
This
he's
is a crazy
dealt
round
with
to watch.
quickly by the flood of attacking players.
Yeah, and they got to
And the
save that
op
op. 'cause
sounds out. Team Liquid
I
know
mean,
what they're
Benji can
against.
try to do some
There shouldn't
damage
be
here,
free
that's about it.
opportunities given to him once that smoke fades, and more importantly, that op
Liquid
shouldn't be
is-
committed. A
I
2
mean,
versus
it's not
4,
gonna be
you
as
need
one-sided as the
mistakes to be
first
made
map,
on
but
the
they're
other
gonna have
side,
too
and
many
the
rounds
risk
there.
you take in trying to force those will cripple your economy coming into the next,
Teo.
especially with 150
Dude, I'm
left
so
on
glad
wood.
this is the last
There's
2
no
days we
choice
see a
but to
Teo.
save these weapons to the next round, and
Because
that's
it's going to be
Team
so
Liquid,
fun
a
what
bump
everyone
in the road
decides
in
to
the
go for
previous,
on
but
maps.
they're right back to winning ways.
Yeah, I think I understand that when you are, again, we spoke about it earlier, the risks that have to be taken with this sort of composition when you're running a double duelist on defense, you need some of that individual flair, but I don't know if maybe someone destroyed his TP, like as he put it down, because they were around the corner pretty quick, or obviously being
They have any of those
suppressed
headbands
as well,
in the store?
denied him from being
I don't
able
think
to
so.
use it. I
They're
didn't
giving
catch
them
it
out
in the
free
moment.
at the
I
venue.
definitely saw he got
That's all I
paranoia,
know.
but whatever it was, it meant that Miniboo wasn't able to leave.
There's like a Liquid Discord there. They probably have the answer for you.
Cutting through.
Does he get hit by, maybe it's the drone? Ah, yeah, he just whiffed. They just whiffed the drone, and that stops him being able to TP.
Yeah, I mean,
That
he
is
was just
rough.
too far away to see it
Just
early.
that little bit of a whiff was enough for him to get taken out by the drone, and that was basically the round falling apart because they gambled on his aggressive position and didn't have anyone else able to get in until we saw that TP. But by that point, look how far Camo had already gone.
B spams now. Everyone dodges the recon, they take the timing, they pop the cage, making it look like the normal Cypher default. He spams. This is so funny because he spams and gets the, he spams instantly, and instead of getting the Cypher, he gets the Teo, so you know for sure. That one was easy, that's the last time the Liquid go 5-person B.
That they forced out in the previous, but drastically different result this time.
I mentioned in the last map, it seemed like Riens was in the Dora Explorer backpack. He has definitely got out of it.
insane expensive here, yeah, it's kind of crazy, man.
In the backpack of his own, I believe he currently has the same amount of kills as the rest of the team combined, which is definitely not a good sign for the side of Heretics. But in that round, it's at least something.
Riens,
Solid
12 to
individual
5.
performance from him, bringing in that Hunter's Fury once more.
Dude, they're really
You can
going
see
down
the
with the fast
immediate
strats. I
response
like
is
this trip
Bit more
strum.
of a pace change, a quick take into middle, and with already
It's hard
the
to
net
deal with, even though the
catching
majority of the time you
onto
hear it
one.
at the beginning.
Who's got to be careful, but he wins the fight.
Bit more passive with the operator this time.
Yeah, ever since they've got the op out,
Gets
it's
his
been
reward
a
for his
little
trouble.
easier.
A lot of space taken, but it's
Nice
aware
shot.
on Team Heretics. They were watching it the whole time. Woot picking off Kiko. Miniboo wrapping around as they're worried about the op. Misses his shot, and that's okay. Back out of that position, uses Util to reclaim some space, and now Woot goes walkabouts, goes looking for the pick. But it's Serial to find it in
dude,
response.
That's fast, man.
Another for Serial as he's stepping
this would be a
up,
crazy
but
clip if he
needs
gets this.
an ace to close this round out, suspecting another player on site will give him an opportunity. For now, it's passive play from Team Heretics. Oh,
Holy,
never mind.
bro.
He's isolated one.
Holy, bro. Wait, this clip is nuts, mate.
Just one away from the
Because
ace.
his first kill that he gets on the op is insanely fast.
He has the sensors available.
Dude, he has his
Every
ult.
single piece of the kit is
He
available.
could just 1-for-1 it with his ult.
For Serial on bench, he can't really do anything without giving his position away. He's hoping to maybe try and catch him out. But I like this reposition from Serial, realizing that he's going to expect the... Oh, no! No, he spawned it out! I thought he was just going to hold on to it, but has tried to fire it directly at his opponent. Oh, we almost just saw one of the greatest clips ever, and it
had
is
so
gonna be
much
clipped,
potential.
but not for the right reasons.
He's been
It had
annihilated
so much
himself.
potential. He was thinking what I was thinking, that no
that's
matter
tough.
what, you get the 1-for-1 with the ult.
Everything set up
And it kind of trades
perfectly.
you.
The wall up top for the info too.
But he just thought the wall
Every
wasn't
piece
broken.
of this puzzle put together
End the
perfectly.
clip
And then it
here.
ended up being the worst timing ever.
End the clip. End the clip.
Beautifully isolates every battle. His ult almost creates a target for Benji to fire back on. Yes! You can see the changing of the tides there. They see the ult online and they know this round he has to break the wall too. It's over.
It takes
Reckon it was
the
a dead
ult.
com?
That's the worst thing. He didn't even get to use it.
Nah, it wouldn't be a
But
dead
it
com,
counts.
surely.
And the
Surely
worst
you
thing
just
is
let him
he
play.
has his gun there. He's played it perfectly. 100% he
He
wins.
stays under and pops
Yeah.
the ult. If it's running out and
Well, no,
popping at the same time.
that's the bit that confuses me. Is that he puts himself in a position that you think, okay, he's never going to use the ult there because it's such a weird spot to try and bounce it from. Like if you go back to main, you go back to the door. There's so many sort of lineups that work. Whereas that, it's a gamble no matter what. Him swinging and just shooting him, that makes a lot of sense. You knew where he was going. But yeah, unfortunately, it's a round they never should have had. It was him almost winning it individually. It just didn't end the way you wanted it to.
This is the form that we were looking for from Serial coming into the league. What we heard about him in the background. He's a strong individual player, someone that many have questioned whether he could do down on that stage.
The wall, no, I think he just didn't think the wall was broken
He's
yet,
off
to
to
be
a flying
honest.
start.
He thought the wall had more left.
I felt like Nats has more phantom kills than most people have kills, but
Whoa.
there we go.
Wait, I like this.
Immediate TP towards the spawn. They found a gap that's not really being battled for, and it leaves a couple to try and hold
That's a
this
great
alone.
solo.
Riens with a little
Oh
bit
my
of
God,
help
it's
has
incredible
managed to
solo.
fight two, in fact, with the Hunter's Fury.
It's a shame for Liquid, I kind of like this strat.
After getting that round over the line, that one,
Salvo,
blink and you miss it.
salvo.
This is
You
dangerous.
push
Tom.
him into the
This is
ult and you push
dangerous.
him
Now we're
forwards.
starting to see
If no one
Heretics
pushes
activated
into the
again.
smoke,
Now we're
you
starting
don't
to see them
feel like you
snowball,
commit.
chain together. 3 rounds in a row. After a
I like the
5-0
idea.
start, a near flawless performance from Team Liquid and almost a clutch from Serial. How close they've come. But think back to Haven. Some rounds were close. Some rounds looked like they could go on the
Such a
board,
good
but the
solo.
difference was those individuals. And if they now start to step up, if we
Riens,
see
I
a
mean, Riens
6,
is having a map,
6 half,
man.
sure,
14
Team
to
Liquid
6.
are great on the defense, but they just experienced a spanking on map number 1. We may well see that same form
Okay,
from
bit of a
Heretics.
change for Heretics. They won't go double
Regardless of
aggro over
map.
towards middle. They lose a main control and reaction. They take
come into
mid.
this map and come out with a
It's
6-6.
it's something that's
absolutely fine, but it's the manner in which it's happening. They're starting to get slammed.
Ooh.
Quick push in, nice work from Serial again.
How's
It
he
doesn't
winning
seem
them?
like he's let that moment get to him whatsoever, having a fantastic individual game. And already
Jesus, the
Minibu
shots at the moment.
is going to put things back in their favor. Serial and Nats, the double. Senti need to hold the line, and Nats looking to try and wrap round from behind. It seems, though, that Minibu is well aware, even expected him to be in this corner. And now for the remaining two, they could try and bait him in. The problem is, this is not planted in a position that Nats can really do anything about, and Minibu
They're
even
actually getting a
repositioned to the
really
rest of his
decent
team.
score on
Great
half there
round from
now.
Heretics, and another to the streak.
This
And
one was a
starting to
little
put together the
bit
game plan of
disjointed
Team
from Liquid.
Getting ahead of that fight, coming out of the smoke.
I feel like they're
It looked
rushing
for a
some of
minute
these
a bit
rounds too
silly.
much.
Boo, he's crouched down, he's caught by the net, and Riens sits inside a smoke. But of course, you're worried about something from Team Liquid, about them flashing out normally, but with this composition, not too much of a worry. That allows them to find a couple of kills, chain them together. But from that point, there is a clear read on how Team Liquid are going to approach it. They know Nats is playing late. They know he's coming up behind. And Miniboo was staring at that the whole time, waiting to pop that flash to punish.
They're going to try and go for it again. I like it. Maybe trying to catch them off guard a little bit with the aggression. Boo, though, it's the same result.
All of these fast strats are just
the smoke.
getting wrecked,
Still
I feel
get
like.
caught by the net, but a completely different position. It's being spammed by
nice
HERETICS, and Rians has gone down. Woot is going to only be able to find one, and now his position's about to be revealed, and while he's pulling out the pin, he will lose his life.
Yeah, great ult that forced him to avoid that snake in the grass play. Now an opportunity for the plant, the post plant looking strong. The ult online for Serial. You probably won't see him swinging out wide with it this time.
Probably a good test of the deadlock on the site. You win.
Nats covering him.
Surely we popped the ult early this time.
Waiting for salvos to come online. There it is. They just came on. So everything for Team Liquid to close this one out. The information sure will come through, and the ult will be popped. Opportunity to use it as well. He's looking in the right direction. Oh, but he's caught with it in hand again.
Dude, Serial is actually cast of his ult. Oh, and he delayed his salvo, so they got half.
They've got time on their side if they can force this peak, and it will be forced soon. Miniboo, the bodyguard, the man he has to get through, and HERETICS does it.
He had to win that
Just
duel.
about finding the Red
They
Bull
got close
clutch
though.
and the lead at the halftime.
Yeah, they needed a safe pair of hands, and it's HERETICS versus his old roster.
I feel like I'm
to at
banning
least
Serial
give them
from
the
using
lead at
ults
the
when he
half,
gets over
but
towards the
it should have
site.
been so much more. A decent resurgence coming out from the side of HERETICS, but they're going to need a bit more in that second half.
He was just trying to buy time with it. He thought they weren't going to push once he popped the ult. Yeah, before we get wrecked again. The results. I swear he had this the other day as well, though, with his ult. He's just he's just a little bit cast. I think he just needs to pop him earlier, to be honest. It's like the other one was like midway through that hesitation of like, should I pop ult? Serial deadlock ult. Deadlock will be used for when they tap the spite. You could definitely do something about that, like have after plant positions. You might see it become more common when Teo goes out and people have to like think a little bit stronger. Because at the moment the Teo just sits off site and that's like easy, right? You don't really want like two people sitting off site because then your site holds become too weak. But once Teo's out, you might start seeing that. But again, it's only like when you have this ult. It comes like Brim ult a little bit.
Welcome back. 2 rounds in it. It was looking like a dominant map for Team Liquid, but there's still some fight in HERETICS here on Ascent.
I mean,
After
they still got too many
opening map,
double
we
sentinel.
know what happens when HERETICS get the ball rolling, but now, Tom, they face Team Liquid's defensive side here on Ascent, a side that has been enough to crumble even the best of teams. Will their form found in the last couple be enough to carry them through it?
Well, the stats tell you no.
Well,
they really are filthy, and I think especially with the double duelist trying to dive through these setups are going to be so difficult. Well, this time
did they bring back the pistol? They did the same pistol they did last time.
Pistol round start.
Did they keep repeating pistols?
From the defensive side of Liquid, not shying away from a fight. You have to be careful though. A couple of players tagged up at least a little bit, and the kills quickly going back the way of HERETICS. Benji and Woot somehow turning this just to one man. But that one man is Nats. He knows exactly where they are, but might just miss the boat on the timing.
Just about.
That's unlucky.
Slipped into main. Still a trap covering that cross. Will be broken soon, and Nats will know exactly what's going down. But in not too long, Benji's going to have that comeback. And with that, available for the post plant. They can play Boathouse.
Good info. I think the comms, okay, comms come in that they're both minus 50, so he knows that they're both one body shot.
50 HP. And a Sheriff recovered. The body shot's all that he needs, but he's got to be quick against Woot and Benji Fishy, a man who had so many 3Ks I lost count in the previous map.
Double swing off camera.
Second he makes this cross, Benji will have the information, he even has the tag, and they peek him together. What a resurgence from the side of Heretics around.
Where are the pistols? It's 3-1, right?
Until that smiley duo of Benji and Woot have turned that pistol. And to be honest, I think they need it.
I think Heretics had to get pistol here anyway to make this a close game.
To play against. It's almost reductive in what you're able to do. Like if you're a Jet, you try and dash in. Maybe you're met by a trip, maybe you're met by a sensor. Either way,
at least they all did it together, I guess.
It can leave Minibu in position where
like
he's teleported
they probably
should
have hit some more shots there, to be fair.
It really is tough.
It's a bad round for Liquid to lose, but again, at least they all died doing the same thing together.
And you can understand the logic to Team Liquid still taking those fights. They can reset into a 2-2 setup or having someone passive on a site, allow a post plant, and have to fight into it. Give numbers.
My goodness, it's a fast one.
It's an anti-eco.
Dude, look at look at how many kills this guy's got in comparison to everyone else.
The Guardian just shredding through those unarmored opponents. My goodness.
He's just farming, like 4 exit kills and an ace and an eco. The man is just getting as many orbs as he possibly can. Well, yeah, you mentioned he's now 2 away from having that Hunter's Fury already. Incredibly
19-9.
Clean start to the second half, but this is where things should get a little bit more difficult. But again, I mentioned it in the first half, the fact that you'll see Liquid with a lot of light
Sova all nice and early.
4 rifles and a sniper and a very quick attempt.
Oh, this is a nice round at the moment.
Perfect. It gives Woot that opener.
Okay, they're gonna think there's so many numbers behind this though.
Hunting him down either
So,
way.
good amount of space over towards B. They do have a camera there. Is the camera the spots early or is it above them?
Versus the anti-eco, but now it's the rifles they play against. The A pressure, the pick there too, has found a big rotation. And only now do you see Patatek come back to clear mid. 1 spotted and a second suspected. The B site under
that's an
pressure.
incredible kill. Keep an eye on the double push on short.
There are weaknesses to this buy for Heretics, but the numbers are the main disadvantage now. A 2 versus 4 that they're left in, and a great read by Liquid. They are all over this.
Yeah, quick response. And that's not being over aggressive, just making sure that he can hold that line, and Benji is all that stands between them and reclaiming their lead. They're actually happy for him to have the site. Not something they're particularly bothered about. Well, he's trying to get there as quietly as possible, but the only real thing he's hoping for is a gap. He has found a massive gap, potentially. 1 down, the second not quite going his way.
Dude, that's pretty unlucky for him.
Low, but that could have been a
pretty
difference
unlucky
maker.
for him. He should have got 2.
Just trying to find any space that he humanly can. In fact, they
damn,
are looking
dude.
the other direction.
He's silent everywhere he goes.
He seems to make every single of these rounds so desperately close.
That's a lot of damage
considering
done.
That's a bonus, it could have easily been 4, 5 players left standing. Well, all that's left is 1.
Almost 1, yeah, he almost did.
Didn't see that player in market.
Silent dropped down into the silent, jumped back over towards lane. It's pretty sick.
Into spawn. What a recovery. And again,
it might actually matter because it's so much damage done.
Quite as much. Well, here in this half, he certainly has been. That's the lead for Team Liquid, 8-7. But they were up against a light buy, and they struggle, they stumble, and it's this man to make them crumble in that round.
Means that they can bring out the outlaw. We've got 3 people that can get 1 shot, and this is an important round. We've got 1
takes a big hit, and a loss here could give Heretics the lead in the next.
We got
3 sets of light shields.
1-9 loss bonus. Yeah, we got 5 people and 2 people that come by next.
Boo. I think considering shooting his own dart. There is not a Sova on the other side, so it's not something he has to worry about too much, but maybe getting lost in the moment. The defense re-aggressing into middle. There are a fair few pieces missing in this round, and this outlaw is as deadly as ever. They're going to go swinging into it.
That's 2 of the 3 that were light armor. They had no idea that outlaw was in play. And it does look like they like to go aggro on short. We had that good reaction there. This might have been a good call from Heretics, to be honest with you.
He's not going to find it, though.
It's not enough.
He'll be.
I wonder if that's like their normal reaction from walling off towards here, because they were very ready for this.
They win this round. Damage done, and he's dealt with in the end.
Yeah, and because of the damage from last round,
from all those players on top
I think
mid.
these two probably have to start saving. Heretics will love the
Seems
free
like
K
the hard
here.
work's being done. It's a formality to attempt to close this out. The Cage saw nothing. Little does Nats know that there's a player just around the corner. Boo won't quite catch him. Players on site may well do. One for Nats.
Careful.
Much more needed and found. He's
Surely
down to
they don't go
17
for this
HP.
though. Well,
The space has been claimed.
my goodness.
Wow.
Didn't imagine he got an extra one there.
Don't want to give
Bots
this man
2 on
anything.
site, hasn't spotted the other.
Cam still set up for the corner. Boo sectioned off. Trying to get information to that back site. But they're now just looking to lock in. Ultimate for Ian's, but probably not going to be utilized in this scenario. And now the gap's been found by Kiko, but this leaves Nats still desperately low. They made this one costly, or more so he has. But anything more from here should be an impossibility, and Rian's make sure of it. The safest pair of hands you can hope for, right at the top of the board in terms of clutch statistics, but
yeah, it's gonna get
that
close.
won't add to them.
No, it won't. He still had a buddy helping him out. But with the late mid play was a thorn in the back.
2 and 10 right now. It's over.
What an unbelievable reveal, and thank you so much for popping that in the replay.
What's it hitting off of the light?
Very impressive round from Rian's as he picks up that 3-piece and a round for the side of Heretics. You have to question Serial going back out. You hear the bang of the Outlaw. You know you've got low shields. You say, I'm going to swing and trade you. Well, there are 2 barrels to that sniper rifle.
Yeah.
And it fires quite quickly indeed.
Hey, he's been hitting headies. I appreciate the confidence, but that confidence may end up being their undoing. Right now, it's been a very aggressive defensive side.
Do they close the door just as he's pushing all the way through?
These sort of defensive crossfires. Well, so far, I don't think they've really been challenged to do so. A lot of it has been Liquid trying to get up in their face, pressure them, and that's
nice
exactly what
though. They're fighting for the gun as well.
With the weaknesses,
I like that from Liquid here. It's good.
He's eco-farming again.
If Rian's was a little bit further forward, if he doesn't react as quickly as he does to that paranoia, this round was in a lot of trouble. The pressure put on B, so many players rotated in there for Team Liquid, and those pistols coming around would have been upgraded quite quickly indeed, but nothing goes the way of Team Liquid beyond that first pick. And 9 rounds now on the board, as expected. Team Liquid have been able to find themselves a couple rounds in that first half.
Wonder if
he thought it would be enough to close out, but 1 out of 5 so far.
Here.
One more kill, he has double anyone else in the whole server.
1 enemy remaining.
Yep.
We're going into round 18. Like, it's genuinely, like, sure.
This looks like a ranked game. That you see those kind of 25 and 10 is a ranked scoreline.
25 to 10.
As I said, he didn't have much to do. Map number 1, kind of along for the ride, but on this map, Liquid's choice, one where they were definitely favored. Well, Camo's at least going to kick things off, but the response, he's on one.
He's got to go for the safe stun away. I mean, dash away.
It is Benji
that was a bit of a
There's
madness for him decision-wise.
But at the loss of Camo. But again, it's an aggressive stance. That's his sort of role within this. The rest of the team, you expect to have that util, that delay. And with the ultimates that they have available to them, it kind of needs to be
for sure Liquid push off short a lot though.
It does feel like Heretics have almost just got this in the bag.
Well, Heretics already scoring double the rounds on the attack than every other game for Team Liquid on this 2 other games combined. This has been an impressive display from this attacking side. A big push by Mini.
Damn, Kiko.
Kiko manages to slip out of his grasp. That's not quite so lucky.
Hey, you did incredible though. Fair play.
As Miniboo eventually finishes off his dinner. A 2 versus 2 were left in. A plant needed by Heretics. Hunter's Fury
I was kind of sick to watch, man.
To be honest,
I have no idea who he's alive on that. Double ult if they want it. Serial's ults are a little bit cast though.
Annihilation used a little bit later. He's almost using it just to try and target players, and he has caught
one
and will get the second as well. It's finally worked out for Serial. That ult has felt like his undoing the entirety of this map thus far, but it's put into play, and he will do the rest. 9-9, scoreline equalized. And Liquid looking to build.
Dude, Kiko did insane on site here, bro.
As soon as that ult was popped.
Especially because he seems to be allergic to bouncing it, which is the weird thing. You know the guy's
odd decision to dash bomb
roughly where he's doing it, but yeah, he just wants to like shoot it. He's using it as like a showstopper. It's a very weird way to do it. Of course, for Woot, that is his 1,000th kill in the VCT, which when you consider how late he actually joined even for this team, that is absurd.
1,000 kills?
Like, he literally, it wasn't even there at the beginning because of how
TS.
things were going.
Well, that's Woot hitting his 1,000 kill mark as the DRX attempt. Big push coming through from Team Liquid. Benji's waiting for it. He's already caught 2 on the main push. Is he ready for Camo?
Might get
he
another.
won't be. If the ult gives him info in time, there is the info. But
Yeah,
Camo's
the info's
moved
incredible.
quickly.
They can
Still,
insta-push over
enough
towards
of a
it.
distraction
They got
caused
double
on that
kill
side,
trip
and now
over towards door.
A
Ult goes in.
wide
Now
open.
you're playing
In fact,
on
the
your
ult's
kill
gonna stop
trips.
the further aggression, it's going to cause problems for the player now. Stuck on site, never mind. Woot is quick on the trigger, leaving Camo to do it all. He's already picked off 2. And Ace, the entirety of Team Heretics have to fall in his hands, or double digits will be found by Heretics. And this attack side win streak will continue.
His first battle was with the window.
Spike planted.
The rest might be a little bit tougher. 3 to find, and they're just not going to give him anything. A peek here would be an unnecessary risk that you just don't expect to see from players of their caliber.
Incredibly
You can
patient there.
witness that he had to make a move, had to make a play.
There's the next
The back and
round.
forth
3 of them
continues. The
died.
problem,
I'm
though,
pretty
is
sure
that
there's 3 that
this
can't
back
buy
and
for
forth
Liquid
hasn't
here.
really been doing much damage to the side of Heretics. Their
They gotta have
economy
a timeout.
still in a good spot, and
They
their
have to.
ultimates almost getting back online rather than dissipating. And for the other side of things, well, they invested a Blade Storm.
Benji and Rienz are
invested
playing way too good, dude.
Armageddon into this one, and they get nothing for both.
Really well played by Benji as well, being able to contain that push coming towards him from 2 different angles. A Blade Storm even thrown at him. An ult that would be very much appreciated by Team Liquid in a round like this. 10-9, the biggest challenge that Team Liquid have seen on their defensive side by an order of magnitude. And now they come into this having lost 5 of the 7 rounds we've seen played out with a timeout. They'll be going into an eco or a low buy afterwards.
They have
unless
a buy,
this
they
is
got low buy
brazen
here,
force
Liquid.
attempt, and Lohan's looking stressed. This could be
I mean, yeah,
the
you gotta be
2-0
stressed with
start
what's
for
going on here.
Heretics with their pick of Icebox up next. The beginning of the end, spelled out in front of Liquid.
Especially as it looks like their normal
11-9
reaction
is
over
the
towards
scoreline
short has
they'll
kind of
likely
been
have to battle
sussed
back
out.
from.
They
This
gotta do
was,
something else.
Looking at the pool, other
I
than
mean,
maybe
I
a
would just
split,
palm
this
put
was
that
probably
look
the
over towards
safest
B
pick that
main
was
here,
going to
but
be there for the side of Liquid. This was a defensive side that we were sort of marveling about. We were talking about how impressive this defense had been, how teams had struggled to get anything done. 2 rounds
what the hell?
of everything played, and well, as you mentioned earlier, the duels between Benji and Nats had only ever gone one way. I don't think that's going to be the story today, unless maybe you flip the names.
Yeah, I think it might be about right the other way around. The story is of Rienz, 26-12 at the moment.
He's kind of good.
An unbelievable display, digging deep in a moment in a map where they need it more than ever. Team Liquid struggling, and Nats
Great trade, though.
out quickly. I thought that could have been a change of pace. Pressure put on A, big play up on B, but instead this push comes into empty space. As Team
They
Heretics
can
gear
own
up for this
TP
A
over
tape
at
that
this
is
side to break
right
it till they
now
get info on that one.
Oh, it's yeah, Woot's going back. He's
Zeros,
just
let's go
decided,
be
you know
swinging
what?
this.
I don't like being the second best Turkish player in the server at the moment, so I'm going to try and find some players as they run away, and where you just look at the A site, there's nobody there. Only really looking for sound cues. I think realizing with the drone that, okay, there's a few dangerous positions we're yet to check, but from here on out, it should be comfortable. The only player I'm really looking at is Serial. He's been having a great performance. A lot of it has been individual brilliance and headshots, and hey, almost work it out with the salvos, but almost in a round like this doesn't really win you anything.
Exactly. All or nothing in this round here. Paranoia thrown through. It's not caught them, but and we come back to the weaponry they've got. Time delay, all that Heretics need to go for. Spike plant's nice and open. Woot, he's taking a risk. Going up top. They've got main control, they've got heaven, they've got players on site.
Well,
Spreading
Heretics'
themselves
money is
thin
going to be
against these
unbelievable.
pistols. But it seems like Team Liquid, they won't be going for this. They'll be containing. They'll be looking to cause damage, keep that economy modest, and for some players, it is getting a little out of hand.
Okay, let's see what let's see what the Liquid timeout was for. The Liquid timeouts have normally been pretty good. They really need help with what's going on. I'm doing some kind of punish over towards B main with Deadlock.
This is what they will have discussed in the pause for Team Liquid. This is one of their, if not the last chance.
Can they afford an op or not? They should have saved enough for an op here, in my opinion.
They would show up on, especially after the 5-0 start.
Yeah, the way that they kicked off this map, it was looking like a done deal. Very calm, collected, and as it was mentioned on the desk, how difficult it can be to play the attack side with the comp, but they got more than enough rounds. The funny thing is,
this is what I would have done, but I would have had an op here.
The operator
the op's in a different position, but sure. Heretics go for the fast A, and it's a great Omen flash.
This attack side, Nat, he's been overwhelmed in a lot of scenarios. Well, he's overwhelmed again. Wu continuing the form of the last round. 4 in that one, 2.
Dude, the double duel is just disrespecting all the util.
Now that op good in the early round, good when posted up.
Nats was just solo A at the beginning.
It's going to clear all these angles. The trade's not easy to find, but they've caught Benji unaware. The spam off the reveal, not quite
that's a
working
fast
out,
kill.
but Miniboo drops camo. That's
him flashing for himself on that.
To be recovered as they seek to
Mate,
battle it out with the rifles.
Miniboo shots
but it's
here are insanely
Heretics
nice.
winning that battle with flying colors and 3 chances to close out Team Liquid's map pick. Last time they faced in a BO5 or faced at all,
what was the score at
it
its
was
peak?
3-0 in the other
At its
direction.
worst?
But what a difference time has made to this battle.
Across 3 maps, managing just 15 rounds. It was
Jesus,
a dominant display
fast, bro.
from Liquid.
Shot's nice as well.
That was for qualification to Bangkok as well. That was a
I think they should do the same setup. I just think they need to double hold site if they're gonna just.
The Heretics boys at home.
Like if they're gonna hold site, they gotta have more than just the one.
It's a battle for a trophy, something Heretics have been looking for a long time, but they've still got a way to go just yet. Kiko stepping up alongside Camo. They might be bleeding, but this roster has proven before.
Yeah, Liquid did a big change up here, and it was having the Omen anchoring on site and the Cypher here instead of the other way around.
Well.
Makes way more sense with the Omen flash.
In some series, we'd look at this and go, well, at least it's not Miniboo. At least it's not Benji. But by God, Rienz has hit godlike form.
I'll be honest, I never think that. Anytime it's Rienz, I'm scared. This guy's too good.
A Plantier gets him a Hunter's Fury. The glass broken, they know where he is. The push-up from Camo as well. He's going to have players coming in from the top and the bottom of the map.
Dude, he has so much time to play with.
This is beautiful. They're slow as well. They're not giving them the opportunities. I like this from Liquid, the discipline on display.
There's no need to get aggressive. You have so much utility. You have the net available. You can even go in with the extra sensor if you need, but it's not going to be the case.
Okay,
they catch him before he can really become too dangerous, before he hits his full peak power. But it's another single round in the blip of many. And I don't mind the idea. It feels like Heretics were just on a steamroll. I'm just going, okay, let's just try this once more, running into the A side. They won't expect it again. We've been able to overwhelm Nats. Nats is 11 and 19, which it's not the worst statistical line, but you know who Nats is. You know the performances he's been having over the last couple of games, especially. He has dragged them kicking and screaming through matches when needed, but in this case, he is down there. Kiko also struggling versus this squad. But they're not going to care if they get it to overtime. That will be the main thing for Liquid. We know that they've had these late resurgences. Again, I hate to keep rubbing salt in the wounds with EBL, but 5 rounds in a row.
Turn the crowd down, mate. I don't know saying that.
That's a different in-game leader, so I wouldn't blame Nats for that. And even versus...
Chat, why are you hanging on the crowd so much today?
The game for qualification,
let them have their fun.
It looked done, and then they ended up having those moments still, going to overtime. It's a squad that knows how to go the distance.
Yeah,
I think that's
technically
why
he's the assistant coach, but honestly, they pretty much share it half and half.
Let's pause. Let's make sure that whatever we're about to do, it's impactful.
That's interesting. 4 aces for Heretics in partnership, 15 for Liquid. Sometimes they've needed those. You look at this though. Look at the score line on the bottom.
I won today.
They haven't been able to chain together 2 rounds. this somehow, coming into this map, you would not have thought this possible to ask, can they get 2 in a row on the defense?
I mean, it's a killer combo, man. God knows smokes on this one. We've got a free site. They find out where one trip is as well. They get 3 over towards the site to hold strong, though. Shock misses both trips.
Removing one
how did the
from
Shock
action,
miss
but
both trips?
the trip in a sneaky spot has managed to even things up. Camo even looking to go back in.
How's that even possible where they are?
Get into position once more, turning things back into an advantageous position alongside Panatek, leaving just Miniboo standing. They used their ultimates. They threw everything into this one. And just look at the patience from Liquid.
They know about the trip,
hey,
but they knew about the close trip.
Fight. Maybe my head
they
goes
didn't know
missing.
about the
Maybe
deeper
I give
trip.
them a way back into this round.
So they only knew
But
about this one, so they dashed over it. Like, it wasn't bad. It's the fact there's double trip here. But honestly, the Shock should have broken. I didn't see where the Shock went, but I know he went for it in this area.
The rotation is going to be a long one. And Team Liquid sitting outside the entry of A, waiting to throw that utility through and end this round. Well, they're going to have to use it to clear out space. Because this read is
double,
good,
yeah,
there's still a sensor in play.
Right, I know you play Sage and you don't have trips, man. It's all good.
Probably going to get caught by it. Makes it through the corner as well, but it does give the info to Team Liquid. They now know where the hit's coming through, and they can hopefully contain him on that side.
Yeah, I wonder if the giant
good
shotgun is
reposition.
going to be brought out by Serial.
Oh, it gets
Might
a little
end up
scary.
being his
They cleared it
demise,
early.
but looking to try and run through, clearing the few angles that are left, but you'd hope that this one wouldn't go unchecked. Miniboo in a bit of a sneaky spot. They've all got past it. 2 already go his way. It's a mistake from Liquid that might just be the end of the map. Camo trying to back.
Holy man, he's 1v3 though. No, dude, they like turned the corner just as he got there. It was nice from him. You gotta give it to him, but that's a disaster from Liquid.
Unbelievable.
6-1 at its peak.
The correction of the last time they played, it was 3-0 to Team Liquid. Heretics.
Miniboo, I mean, yeah, he had a 1v4 on Haven. He gets a 1v3 here.
In that lower bracket final, one more map for Team Heretics, and it's all the way to grand finals.
Water. One thing, Patrick, look at me. Show me a smile.
Where's I will show you a smile?
Come in, show me a smile.
You're making me laugh, that's not fair though.
Gia? Right. Patrick, show me a smile. Boys, last game, honestly, everyone accepted it, right? Be honest, is everyone accepted it?
Yes.
Are we accepting this game? No, not a chance, right? Nothing, we're starting the game 0-1, who cares? Nothing.
Well, how about a 6-1? Zero 2. Yeah, he's got to do the same. He's got to do the same speech and just copy paste it. Dude, their site holds were kind of rough. I'm not gonna lie. They play. I guarantee what's gonna happen because Mini keeps doing VOD reviews as well. Mini's gonna flame their A setup so much.
Red Bull gives you wings.
So, finals, map 2 is set. Okay, chat, we got everyone's favorite map next, Icebox. And I'll be back in a little bit. Be back in a little bit.
Heretics continue their winning ways, this time on Ascent against Team Liquid in this lower final best of 5. I'm your host, Yingsu. I've got Kakuka back here with me, joined by Petra. How on earth are we sitting here talking about a Team Heretics 2-0 after the first, like, 8 rounds of Ascent?
Yeah, I think that Team Liquid started with a very good idea of what they wanted to do. We saw a lot of set strats and very good rounds coming their way. We understand why they wanted to pick this, but it's something about the double duelist with Team Heretics that makes them feel very comfortable.
Yeah, I really expect them to be a little bit more proactive on defense, especially with double duelist, but I guess it wasn't needed.
Yeah, maybe, I mean, I know people like to throw the word vibes around a lot, but Petra, I think a lot of that helps for the side of Team Heretics. They've all got each other's backs in these situations.
Yeah, definitely, and you could see that they were very involved in the emotions were coming up. Miniboo was a bit frustrated in the beginning, it seemed like, and later on he was like on fire, and after winning he was so happy and relaxed.
Yeah, the energy.
1v3, just like Riens on that insane one that he had in the same part of the map in another match, but it's crazy to see that at any given moment, it doesn't matter that it's a 1v3, you need to take into account that Heretics might still win it.
Yeah. I actually cannot believe that they won that, even towards the end. I was thinking OT, you know, towards that it was going to be OT. But Kakuka, let's take a look at some of these execs that you wanted to revisit.
Yeah, exactly, because I was really liking and enjoying what Team Liquid were doing. I think that Patty Tech was such an important piece to all of that. Petra, you were mentioning how Miniboo was feeling a little bit overwhelmed at the beginning of that, and probably Patty Tech was on the other side provoking that kind of reaction. All of this set strats with this executes, putting Camo, of course, as the tip of the spear, and then just having Serial coming in with the wall and putting a lot of pressure, left them with a lot of comfortability. And of course, Team Heretics wanted to battle out again before the spike went even down, because playing for a retake when a deadlock has already have their utility down is only going to be more and more complicated. And this is one of the reasons why we saw such a strong start for the side of Team Liquid. And then Neil called it a timeout and was like, guys, I think that we don't fight them here. I think that we need to choose our angles a little bit better. And they won an eco after.
Is this it? Have Heretics finally gotten over all the trauma, Petra? Are they going to win a trophy this year?
Seems like it, right?
Right?
Yeah, right.
There's something in the air. Maybe I'm just coping a little bit, but the old Heretics, the one that we knew previously last year, maybe wouldn't have been able to recover on that map. But also, it helps when the best player on the world is on your team, you know? Yeah. Everyone else says Riens is the best. Would you agree, Petra? Is Riens the best?
Well, it shows.
Yeah, he's proved it.
Absolutely. I think that this is one of the maps where Sova, for such a long time, has had so much impact. He makes it look easy at some points because, yes, he has the raw aim. He has all these characteristics. His ultimates are always on point. He's always at least good for one. He also got an ace because why not? A little bit of the eco frags, but still, that goes into the numbers and just keeps reassuring on why Riens is the best.
Yeah, I think Bosa summed it up the best, right? When you're in an advantageous situation, why is Riens winning that? You know, why is Riens doing all these things against your team? Because he is doing all these things time and time and time again. But here is the million-dollar question now. Can Heretics keep this up? Are they going to be able to 3-0 Liquid the way that Liquid 3-0 them back at kickoff in this lower finals as well? Because if they are, they will be going to the grand finals tomorrow, and they will be going to the grand finals with all the confidence, Kakuka, in the world. And they have a real chance of getting another revenge match tomorrow.
Absolutely, and getting their first trophy, everything is aligning for them, and especially they need to remember what is happening right now, okay? Like, you had the read on your opponent. Team Liquid did not pick the split, so it's kind of like in the bag. You already got Ascent. You're about to go on to Icebox, and to me, this between this first two maps and what we're going to see now, there's going to be a big difference, because we've been seeing the two teams running. Team Heretics was running the double duelist, and we see Team Liquid running the double sentinel. But for Icebox is a very different story, and I think that both of these teams have shown both their strengths and their weaknesses on the map.
I hope they learned from yesterday, Petra. What did you think about Heretics Icebox yesterday?
Yeah, it's a bit of a coin flip, it seems like. I think they're going to play different than yesterday, of course. They won it earlier in this journey,
Dude,
I think. And yeah,
Icebox
I think they can play better on Icebox than how they played before.
Are they going to go
Xbox
back
is
to
weird
the
because
Deco?
Heretics struggled
Are we
against
going to
the
see Rians on
Sage
the
last
Silver?
time. Honestly, they come.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly,
what is
Heretics
going to
look good
happen
on this map.
Last map?
Just
Also,
the fact that
as we can see,
they were up against the Sage.
Team
I think
Liquid
that's
is
the
going
only
to
reason
be
they didn't look good
starting
yesterday
on
this
the
map.
defense, and I think the Team Heretics also made some changes in the way that they were executing, especially against Fnatic and the sites that were prepared. Because we know, okay, it's Icebox, you're gonna go A a lot of the times. To be precise, Team Liquid, when A has gone A, 74% of the time. So there's a high chance that is going to go on that way. I think that this match has been about the attack a lot. On this map, I'm looking at the
They've ended A 74% of the time.
For Heretics, I mean,
This
they
is not a
couldn't
good
go
map.
B yesterday. They tried to go B yesterday, and they got shut down very,
Chat, we
very
really
quickly.
need this new map from
and this
Riot
could
to
be
be
very
good.
poetic for them to
Not
end
gonna lie.
on Icebox. But similarly, it is not out of the question for
Actually
reverse
really
sweep.
need it to be a good
We have
map.
seen it one time
If it's
before here
another
in
bad
VCT
map,
EMEA,
man, I don't know,
and
dude.
I think it was against Heretics.
Yeah,
So maybe that trauma they have to get over. And Nats, if there's any time for
Can we
him
pay
to
Valve?
whip out a speech
I don't know,
here,
man. Maybe we do like a
Petra,
competition
you
or something,
reverse
some like
swept
map
someone
making
before.
competition.
How did you
That's
do
very
it?
true,
just
yeah. I mean,
make
as
it.
long your mental is strong after losing 2 maps, because
Like I
your
feel
mental
like they need
is gonna be
like
challenged,
if
right?
this map's bad, like they
Then
actually need
definitely
help
win.
from
And I think
outside.
Heretics is not gonna let them.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But where do you start with a reverse sweep, you know, when you guys did it? Was it this important map 3? Was it just from round 1 get-go that you felt like we have to do it from here?
Yeah, I mean, we had a pep talk in the room together, and I mean,
That sign
we
means
had been
me?
playing
No,
for
just
so
like, we
long,
do a
so
competition.
We knew anything can happen
Best
in
map.
every game, and they put everything
But
to
you
win.
have
so the
to
energy
to
ran
enter
out,
the
and we
competition.
still
You have
had,
to
like, so much
accept
power
that
to go.
you're
Very
giving up all
motivated
rights.
to win, so
We're doing it purely just to
So
make a good
in a
map
best
in the
of
game.
5, which map loss do you think is more
don't get
harsh?
anything.
The one that you lose
I'll
like
give you a-
13-3
I'll give you a
or
Liquid
something like
classic.
that is a 13-11, 13-10?
You're doing it for
You know,
the good of the
which one is
game.
more difficult to come back from?
yeah, it's a good question, because you use your energy a lot when you fight so hard in a close game. It's maybe a bit harder to come back from.
Oh, well, the good news is Patty is all smiles over there, and so Serial. They're listening to this speech right now, and let's see in the agent select if we do see any changes. No, they choose not to go back to the Tejo. Is this a mistake?
I want to see if maybe some of the ideas that
It's
they had
interesting that
yesterday
they don't go
could've,
for the
passed
tail, but
through
again,
because of,
I think
Fnatic changing a
Heretics
couple of
only
things
struggled
and then
against the
having
Sage, so I
a
don't
good
think they're going to
map, and
overthink
I
it
wanna
too
see
much.
if that makes a difference into today, because Rians is a brilliant.
Wouldn't mind
solo, that is
another
something
free
you
site
cannot
free
never,
site map. Yeah, I
not account
agree.
for. On the other side, Patitech,
That's
again,
might
I
be
think
the
he did
safest way to go.
very well on Ascent, and his utility was having a lot of effect, and I think he's going to be, has to be the one shutting down Team Heretics.
It's going to be
I
annoying,
need to
right?
do a
Petra,
slug club
the KO.
version. Just
Yeah,
get all.
it's
No, that's what I'm
annoying,
saying.
but
Just
I
get you guys to
definitely
make the
think
maps.
it's very
What we do is we do a
good workaround.
competition. You guys all
At the
make
end of it.
maps.
Yeah, Liquid have a
And then we
chance.
just
They have a
steal
good
all the
chance.
best
I
stuff
mean,
from
if they
everyone's
do
map and
win
put it
here,
together.
I'm going to start being a little bit scared for Team Heretics.
Surely
They
together
have
we can
to
come up with a
defeat
good map.
their demons, Mitch and Tom, at some point this tournament.
The 3-0
That's not how it works. Yeah, we'll make it work.
revenge for Team Heretics. Desolation for Liquid, who've looked otherwise very good, but after that first
make it
map,
work for
who
sure.
knows what we're going to see here on
What
Icebox.
software do we make the maps in, mate? I don't need it
This
to
is the
look
choice
nice. I just need a good
of Team
mini-map.
Heretics,
That's
the
it.
second pick
They
that
can do the
went for
rest.
Tom. After what we've just
You just
seen,
need a mini-map
map
that
1
actually
and
makes
map
sense.
2 in Team Heretics' pocket.
Like you can tell from the
Your
mini-map of
expectations for
Icebox and
Icebox.
Abyss
The
that
thing
it's
is,
not a
we
good
end
map.
up in more of a middle ground. I think they were undone when they tried to play this when facing off
You
against
don't
Fnatic.
need
I
to
think Fnatic
design
had a
it in
very
terms
good
of, like,
game
how it
plan
looks
of
like snow or
isolating,
whatever.
Benji Fishy, like we
Yes.
saw that regularly, like constantly pick him out of those lurks.
Okay,
on that
Heretics
attack side.
on
I
attack,
want to see
Liquid
if that's
on
something
defense.
that Liquid have been able to pinpoint
The
as
double
easily and
sheriffs
more
come
so
out again.
has there been adaptations. The other thing that was to note for Heretics was Minibu had a really rough map. That hasn't really happened so far throughout the series. He's looked very good, and if he's firing on all cylinders, I don't think it matters what Liquid do.
Well, that is a scary thought for Team Liquid coming out of this BO5 without a map under their belt. Now looks like a possibility when Ascent was a surefire win for them coming into it. Team Heretics on the attack, and a lot
Do
of
they
utility
find the alarm
waiting
bot
for them on that A site.
before they
Players
find?
just
No,
outside.
okay, these mice are
Now
gonna
they've
wreck
got a good
them.
idea where the hit's coming through. Minibu not deterred
Dude.
by that util. The suppression nor
what
the
stun
decay
was
will
this,
keep him
chat?
back. He grabs an opening.
I guess it has to be mini boost
the
up.
nanoswarms. I don't think they
That was
expected
insane.
them to be that deep into the site already. It was a quasi.
Yeah, take all the space, get the plant off as well. And in terms of the after plant, they haven't got much util. They haven't got much util, but just because of the comp, you think that they have a lot of util, so you're going to speed up even though they're fighting heavy over towards site. It's like one of those passive pressure things. We're speaking about the passive pressure of just like the Sage Wall yesterday. This is a similar thing with Heretics comp. You feel like you've got a fast retake just purely because like these could all be mollies and double shock.
They're just playing post.
Yeah, and there's no need to overextend at this point. Serial already
Dude, this neon stun was sick. Where did he do it? Just off the back wall here.
Out in the open. An easy connect as Benji already sees it's not being stuck.
It hit 3.
Now the time more so in their favor. Benji wants to shut it down. 1-0.
As they throw the orb like that, they throw it through the little gap at the top.
The first here on Icebox.
Like
this map will be enough to end
throw
the
it
series.
through this. Dude, that stun is...
Difficult team to play against. There's
He's
not
actually just
many
swinging with it.
that are able to successfully run this Neon, but when it works for this squad, it definitely works fantastically well. I also think Woot moving over to this Gecko has been enjoyable. Like him being able to play these
the
more
smoke's
aggressive
strong.
flashes,
Yeah,
put
above
himself
this
into
is like a
aggressive
gap.
positions.
It's similar to
Same
this,
can be
right? It's
said
just
for
a
Camo,
repeat.
though.
There's a little
I
gap
feel
at the
like
top
it's
that you
one
can
that can work
util.
quite
You
nicely
can
for
util to the default
duelist
here.
players.
And you got this smoke that goes
Allows
there.
Patty to play the agent that sort of...
One sheriff on this one.
I want to say not made him famous, but got him back.
The thing that I
to the
like
position
from
we know he could
Heretics,
be
and me and Boo
when
were speaking
playing
about
as a
this a
stand
little
for the
bit
Heretics
on
squad.
when
This
he was
round at least
watch partying with
no
me as
scopes
well,
for Boo.
is he agrees with me
All
that this
about
is just
building up those orbs.
insanely
One thing we talked about
underrated at the moment in
was
terms
just
of
Benji,
ecos.
not just on this map in their last
Like
series
considering
up
it's not
against
that
Fnatic,
much
but
more expensive than it
in
goes,
this
you
last time
should
that they played
always
as well.
have it.
The fact that
And it's
Nats
kind of what
was
we said that
shutting him
maybe
down consistently.
Fnatic
I've
need
just
to add
checked
to their
for the first two
defense
maps. Benji's
pistol
+7
and
against Nats,
eco.
+9
Just getting
against
out
Serial.
the,
I mean, he has been dishing
martial
out
art.
death across the board, and it looks like
good.
Yeah, he absolutely has. But when he faces off against Benji, it's a different story. He's only taken him down 1 time so far. We see a near flawless round. Serial, the only one to pipe up, dropping Mini Boo, but still 4 players left to take down.
This is sort of what I'm talking about with the Woot flashes. Is I want people to keep
It's like
an eye
you got
out
to think
throughout
this
the
is
map.
like this isn't much
know
difference
that there's
here.
going to be a lot of the time a sort of more passive Gecko where you're throwing flashes.
You
for
can
other
still
people.
throw
Woot's not
the
doing
marshal
that. He's
away
throwing a
if you
flash
want
and
to.
then he
Again,
gets
people
the kill himself. He's
can't keep
assisting
it
his
hidden.
own kills with this sort of aggressive play. It is almost added in as this secondary duelist, even when it's not, because you're still going to be the one planting the spike. For Boo, this round has definitely helped with earning up those orbs, but I'm looking more so towards Woot. 1 away from having the Thrash already, and for Liquid, this will be the rifles, but as mentioned, the differences in the 2 teams' bonus rounds, Heretics
Team that
come in with a
loses
very
out,
strong
a team that
buy.
loses gets
there's not
third.
3 pistols
Still
backing
qualified
up
to
a couple
Toronto though.
of recovered pieces are carried through. This is a very strong buy indeed.
Like
for
everyone's
Heretics. In
qualified
fact,
at the
it gives them
moment.
that basically back-to-back full buy. for Team
And
Liquid.
then let's think whoever gets third has to play one of the second seed teams in the first rounds of Toronto.
Looks like it's about to be
Which
pressed.
isn't
3
too
players
bad.
there, Spike
Who
is
is
there,
it?
Benji's gearing up
Sentinels,
for that flank play. But there
Sentinels,
might be an attempt to draw a rotation, or even
and
just to
Billy
read
Billy.
what is going on, what the play is from Liquid, because you've still got Boo sitting outside the A site, waiting for a play that is just now coming through. And he hears those rotations. He's heard the steps away. They know that this fake has worked towards B. Will they claim the A space, or look to take everybody down?
There's multiple layers to the lurk, but at this stage, I was going to say they're walking into the stack, but it's Mini Boo that's just been
This is going to be a little bit
spammed
interesting
out
as well
through the
because
smoke.
Heretics
Extra util
yesterday.
becoming problematic to hold them back, and now we finally start to
Dude,
see
what's
them make their
Wingman
move.
doing?
Turret being
Dude, he's running a
destroyed, but
marathon.
If anything, that kind of gives the game away that there's still players on
They
that other
they
side
sent
of the map.
Wingman in to pretend that they were going to plan
an
over
opening
towards
pick
it to
for
try
Liquid,
and
but
cause an
30
over-rotate to
seconds
get a little bit of space over towards A. He locked onto
Versus that
Mats, I
post
think,
farm.
who was top of site,
And I
and he
actually
started
think
going
this is
crazy.
where,
It's a nice idea from
that
Heretics, so I
ultimate
do
for
like
Woot
this
can
one.
become so much more dangerous if he can catch a couple of players with it.
Rotate from Liquid. He's caught Benji at least. The snake in the grass dealt with. Sight the few rifles. Woot not really given an opportunity with everyone coming in
how
up
did
top.
Boo
Boo
get a
does
kill
well,
here?
finding the first, isolating the second, and the rest of the squad steps up. Thrash will be sent out. Panatek, he's up top, he's safe and isolating, finds, but Woot from the rope.
That was a cool idea from Heretics as well. I liked it. Also, it looked like they kind of baited the fact that they were fighting so heavy here yesterday. As soon as that wingman goes out as well, everyone's sticking around.
3-0 down.
And then they left A pretty early, so there's too much question marks over towards A, so let's take a little bit of time clearing all that space.
But Boo underneath was completely blind, and it was only after he got his vision back that anybody went to peek him. Just a little bit too slow on the reaction.
Nice, guys.
It's also a good amount of rounds where Heretics have
obviously getting all those additional
fought heavy on site in the after plant, so they can maybe start leaning onto actual util. Maybe Liquid will take longer to retake the site itself. Force them down to Sheriff. They got that Outlaw out again.
To Toronto. 3 players currently on the goose egg, 0 kills.
Missing the mid luck yesterday. I mean, they didn't really do the mid luck much because a lot of times they save their smoke.
Started 5-0 on the last map, it's still lost.
Yeah. We said it in the last one, once that ball gets rolling for Heretics, it's difficult. There were a few bumps in the road, but around here or there on Team Liquid's Ascent defensive side, it's unheard of. Sprinkling them in amongst the feet. Good thing about this one is huge read from Team Liquid, or just a huge
gamble. Stack.
4 players
see how many
in
kills they
position,
can get
and
from
Heretics
this.
are running right into it. Lots of pistols, and they might not pose much danger alone.
Okay, it doesn't get any.
I think they have the info though. Like at this point, at least 2 or 3 players have been spotted on this side of the map, but it's almost coming down to a level of disrespect. They want to fight into this, even seeing players on the wraparound, but it doesn't seem to matter. They have walked into the full force of this squad and still seemingly coming out on top. 3 players alive, and well, eventually Benji's there to finish them off. As you said, it was a good read or a good stack up.
Yeah, I mean, they stacked everyone here, they just didn't have the guns for it.
They only got 2 kills.
Yeah, even the wall couldn't save Nats from Benji now. He is out for revenge in that battle, dropping Nats yet again, putting 4-0 on the board. Like you said, this stack, it looked dangerous. The pistols with numbers, that's where they pose a serious threat. But in the end, there was nothing to be scared of if you're Team Heretics. Wonderful stuff by Benji to close that out.
Nice go,
and smiles all around in the Heretics camp. It feels like they are gearing up for this 3-0. The rifle round now stands in their way. A full buy for Team Liquid.
Dude, this is their buy round. Look how fast they are.
But they didn't win a lot of rounds.
Jeez, mini Boos on site within the first 10 seconds.
Can't count them out.
Okay, maybe there's a chance for Panatek to get another
that smoke lineup that we were talking about a little bit earlier.
Miniboo doesn't seem to want to allow it.
So they want to kill Joy, but
it really does feel
if
like
they can get that, what do they do at the time? They have an opportunity to plant.
They won't get there in time to actually save Panatek, so he's gone
Dude,
from the
they're okay
fight.
just to chill on this.
This attack site will have to fall off. The lockdown is going to force them away. One player will get caught, but look at the defense. They've all gathered up together. They are looking to try and fight this, and the attacker just waiting for them here.
They expected it to be a rotation.
They thought they rotated off. Dude, Heretics are out calling them as well.
Back, but they were not out of this round, waiting.
Heavily out calling them.
As the end zone flawless is locked in, the ult used by Team Liquid, the rifles in play. And it is a sweeping, resounding victory for the attack side. Now 5-0, a scoreline we saw Liquid with on the previous map. But one that so far it feels like only Heretics can come back from.
Yeah, it's going to be that pause taken, and you can understand why. An attempted mid-round from
we got 2 buy rounds. So basically it's been pistol rounds. So they fought over towards site, they've tried to fast retake, but obviously they're fighting over towards site. Then you got the other buy rounds. They fake the B, over-rotate from A, so then they got the free site. And then this in their buy round, they speed up heavy, and they were so chill after they got the first kill. Got the first kill, let them ult, and then everyone hid. They managed to hold the KO ult long enough as well.
The story has always
been they look insanely calm at the moment, Heretics.
Getting a trophy under their belt. Sure, the internationals are ones
Liquid,
that
yeah, they can't get kills at the moment.
But even regionally, the expectation is that this squad should have already won something.
5-5-0-0-0.
They faced up against Fnatic.
It's not going great.
They were the favorites. And now they're looking to try and get back and get revenge on the squad that sent them to the lower bracket.
I read low. Thanks so much for the tier 1, mate. Appreciate that. Thanks for the 6
might have
months.
changed going into this series.
Dude, it's starting to look like one of the fastest best of 5s we've ever seen.
5v4s, almost the same win rate. Doesn't quite feel like the same here. Heretics looking like the better team. 2 maps under their belt. Opening pick goes to Kiko. A second as well.
Surely. They don't have the guns.
They let slip, but if they had rifles, I might believe. The rest of the squad has pistols. Benji has taken down Nats. Where previously he was the one being caught out on those mid lurks. This time he's the one to find that pick that equalizes. And with the lack of weaponry, gives them the advantage.
Unfortunately, that rifle just wasn't recoverable, at least yet. Utility being left towards the B site as at least a little bit of additional information can be had, and it does mean
so they only know that there's one middle.
Both.
Otherwise, they probably would have sped up here.
Camo.
They're not going to be able to pick up these guns how they're playing.
Even just the beginning of this round being a little bit of a confidence booster. Kiko's first kills onto the board, but there's still so much more that needs to be had.
Such a good stun. It's great by Miniboo, man. Fair play.
Even just pops the ult, maybe just for a little bit of a flex. Seemed like he
I think Nats messed up a little bit of middle, to be honest, taking the duel, but
no way of getting back into this
Miniboo
round.
played this well.
Panitek, he's been good, Mitch. This is a little bit different versus
Liquid.
old squad.
I was saying it might be a little bit like that, but they take their again. I'm not saying it's intentional, but sometimes you do. Like you got the big, overall goal done, right, of qualifying. Whereas I feel like Heretics are really hungry for that that trophy. You do internally take your foot off the pedal.
Camo getting himself, or sorry, Kiko getting himself
also,
on the board.
Liquid have just played way more games than anyone else.
But an immediate recovery, and again, once that one rifle goes down, you know that the odds swap right back.
Heretics really want that second place is a crazy statement, but not to argue history. Prafu, thank you so much, thank you. Random, but it's so hilarious.
Other than that, the ults are a little bit further away. It's
hilarious that I swear in Blackjack but not here. Yeah, I don't swear in stream that much, to be honest. I originally did it because I thought I was going to start doing broadcast stuff for a little bit, and I swear quite a lot, so I didn't want to start swearing. So I was just practicing on stream, and now I just don't really swear that much. Unless I'm on Blackjack, then I just let it rip.
Heretics are very happy to just stall. The pop flash will go through. Maybe a little bit of a sound cue to at least give them the idea that somebody is around this corner.
Nice flash. Kiko's going to be swinging, so is Camo. Good opportunity as they force the fight onto Kiko. Camo almost had one, but he couldn't quite connect. Miniboo surviving late.
Nothing's going right, man. Actually, nothing's going right.
That's the A side.
We call it a day.
Crumbled. Nats fills in the gaps, but he'll get nothing. Heretics!
Might be time to pack it up.
They are destroying Team Liquid in every round we've seen. It feels like their hands are on the reins and a few fingers may ease up, but
because there's two different twins, yeah, one swears and one doesn't.
A 4 versus 1. And as good as Serial's been, close to an ace earlier, I don't think this one's going his way. He catches Benji. Needs so much more. He won't even be trying.
No, I do like Platchat. Platchat's fun though, because it's like because when I stream, I try and make sure that like the entertainment should be the game.
After this round ends, so it's not really like
but when
he's
it's
got
Platchat, it's like I can actually
for Miniboo and for Rien, so
show a bit
why
more
not throw a gun or
personality, I
two
guess.
into the wind just to try and
it's fun at the moment.
remove the guns, but also just
in the
make
misery.
this
No, this is a
even more of
brutal one. It
downer
really is.
for a side of Liquid. The last few seconds will just result in that survival. But this has been the impressive thing. You go into a best of 5, okay, map 1. Maybe you want to start on a strong foot, you dominate. Your opponent gets their choice, you have the same expectation. Wasn't the case. Felt like it would be. Map number 3, you're getting into the middle ground. To hell, this ain't a middle ground. This feels more dominant than the first map. They've been so clean with it, and the worst thing is in this round at least, this looked like
the server util on this map is nice though.
Had that initial flash, it
I'm
gave
telling
them
you,
the
the only
information,
reason
then they have the
Heretics
double
looked
flash.
rough
It's so
yesterday was
difficult to
purely
dodge
because of the Sage
the pop
pick.
flash from KO and Gecko at the same time.
It
But they just
completely owned them.
shots.
mean, the
Whereas
re-aggression
now
on main
this is
might
like
have worked.
it's a
In
lot
fact, he even
comfier.
got the pick, but it's the fact Miniboo's still alive up top.
Heretics have so
trade.
many ults for
And
this
now
as
the
well.
rounds
It's just
crumble.
another low buy for Liquid.
HERETICS falling after. There was no road to recovery. The defenders, 4 players in position. A rifle for Serial, a bulldog for Camo, but the rest
Did you skip school to play CS Source at home? Yeah, quite a lot, man. Quite a lot, to be honest.
In full effect. Boo has a Viper's Pit, but it might not even
My
be
college
around to use
attendance
it.
was like pretty rough, bro.
Lockdown was, they know that there's a bit of a gamble potentially on this side of the map. In fact, a lot being expended in this scenario. The attack is sending through way more than I would have expected. They even use a Hunter's Fury in the mix. They just want to make sure this round goes over the line. There's not even that much of an investment from the side of Liquid,
so
but
brutal.
it's almost
It's
like
so
Heretics
brutal.
just wanted to kick them while they're down.
No, it was rough, man. So in school, like when I was doing my big exams, I think Halo 2 came out like a week before my big exams. So that was them done, man.
By far the most
that was
dominant
them out the
start to a
window.
map.
And
it
then,
feels like there's no hope for Team Liquid.
and then I was playing so much Source in Call of Duty.
Needed. And indeed, coming into round 9, it was map 1, round 7. They had used all of their pauses coming out of it. Going into round 8, now going into round 9, it's the same story on map number 3.
It would have been pointless test, but I would use it to party.
Team
That would have
Liquid.
been it.
And the
Halo
most
2 and Halo
surprising
2
thing
was a
of all
banger,
is
dude.
Nats 0 and 8. Like find me another game of Icebox when Nats is having that much of a troublesome time, but it does come with the leadership. When things go well, you can kind of focus that a little bit more on your individual ability. When the synergy is there, when you have that little bit of extra help. When everything's going badly, that's where you almost have to focus off your own game. But then again, you think about it, a lot of the time he's that B anchor. They really haven't gone B that much. This A execution has been an execution. And for the side of Heretics, what if you took this round in isolation and you told me versus
I remember how old you are sometimes.
they used
But yeah, I think I was like
a
15 when
lockdown of
Halo 2
Viper's
came
Pit and
out, something like
Hunter's Fury,
that.
I've been like, they're nuts.
It was banger though.
That's so many ultimates to throw in, but you're 8-0 up. I feel like they just want that death-dealing blow already.
And a Thrash, I think, too.
Potentially.
I think they put all 4 in. Which is quite something. These teams, it was hard to separate them when it came to the stats. In the past, it wasn't too hard to separate them. Liquid with a resounding 3-0 victory. Many 13-4s and what was it, a 13-7 in that mix. They looked like the better team last time they faced, but that has changed. This lower bracket final seems to be the end of the line in stage 1 for Team Liquid. 8-0.
Dude, at this point,
An
just give them a round.
turnaround needed.
At this point, we'll be happy with a round.
Whatever speech has come out from Nats, from Lion, from Yautzen. This may be the best one they've ever had. This is the furthest
How
behind
much time do you have left? Dude, you're
ever
asking
been in
when
a
I'm gonna
series.
die? That's crazy, bro. I don't know. Take you can't take every day for granted, though. I give you that much.
Control, completely
You don't live the healthiest lifestyle, I'll give you
interestingly,
that.
a lurk from Wu on the A site. It's not normally the player you'd
That's a
expect
crazy
to see.
jam,
Normally
man.
the man to plant the spike, but maybe that's the plan, to really sell the ruse. There's still 3 players and a 4th lurking in mid. There is nobody really remaining on this side. That might be.
Okay, here we go, Kiko. This is the moment.
That could be a
Dude,
problem
they didn't
with how
even
far
rotate
forward
back. The
Kiko
call
is.
came in.
Yeah, I don't know what the play is here. It looks like Heretics
What
pump
is this?
faking
One
to
pass
take
and fake, but the
late
one
A
pass and
space,
fake
Wu
isn't
will
going
be
to
the one
work.
lurking up.
Wait,
He's
how's
doing
the one
that
pass
right
and
now,
fake
taking
working?
that control, sending
Why are you
out Wingman.
rotating?
Is this a fake to drag them off of B?
Why did these two rotate? Okay.
They're not going
Dude,
back. But in fact,
15
Team Liquid have
seconds.
not
There's
gone back
no
either.
way
They've
they
not
win
fallen
this.
away. Boo goes down, spikes on the floor, picked up, and now an attempt to plant it. It looks like that's a success. 3 versus 4, numbers not in their favor, but Miniboo manages to pull one back. Panatek is down, Rienz is low. In fact, he's down and out of the round.
Okay,
It's
he's
all
got a
on
1v4
Miniboo,
or
but a
1v3.
1v2, a very winnable scenario from what seemed questionable moments ago.
I was gonna
but
say.
in the end,
I
Team
was,
Liquid
dude, I
will
was
get it
looking at the
across
time on the
line.
minimap. There should have been no way.
Important return. An important read more so. I don't mind the idea from Heretics.
It was an
Like,
important
you
read
throw in
because
your
obviously they
Gekko,
had full
you
info
throw
over
in
towards
the
middle,
wingman
but they
just
nearly
to
double
try and
rotated,
sell the
so
idea
they
that,
nearly
okay,
messed
well,
up.
if Wingman's running into the site, that's probably for a plant, but they didn't fall for it. They knew that there were many players around. A lot of that could be down to the deep mid control that was taken by Camo. By Kiko. The amount of space.
Odie 890. Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate the 14 months. Thank you for sending that also.
On this side of the map.
Nice, good job.
Finally finding that first round on the defensive side. It is a long road back. And as mentioned, no more.
Okay, change up. Benji trying to protect his turret over towards middle, and this might actually work. Does he eat the flash or not? Yeah, he does. He ate the flash.
Turret has to be broken. I like it though. Kiko waiting for the peak, hoping to punish Benji. Doesn't work out this time.
Knife
They'll back off from that
goes all the way over towards B. Spots nothing. They can keep the 4-person hold. Turret can spot middle. He got no smoke over towards middle, so Turret can literally hold the whole of it. Got Viper ult here as well. I mean, Liquid should win this one as well.
A player pushed up close in it as well.
How's this one gonna crumble?
He's got a gap. He's safe inside that pit for now. And for Team Heretics, getting him out of position now that that nano is gone will be tough. They'll be decayed as they make their way in.
Popped his own nano to try and sell the idea that he wasn't somewhere on the site.
Oh my god, it nearly worked. It nearly worked. They got the plant left side, but I just think that fighting on site here must be a nightmare.
I don't know how he's still alive, but he's managed to get out of there with full HP. Gives them a man advantage and goes back for more. Wounded form is devastating, and Benji holds his back. It's going to be left
oh my goodness, dude. Benji had to miss the shot, otherwise it was done. Dude, it's still insanely close with a 4-person stack and a Viper ult here.
Liquid, they've been down for 8 rounds in a row, but a return to form now, 2 in a row, much more needed. But this half, finally seeing some more hope. The good read, the player guarding outside of that pit as well, necessary, or this would have been a very different round. But what a play by Woot. It seemed like that was enough to take it across the line.
Michael. Good job, guys.
But Serial again digging deep when he's needed the most. He has been
do the round. There's still 4 people to get so wrecked money-wise from the reset.
Going back to Ascent, a lot of big rounds.
Pace change. Pressure,
man.
So much pressure put
dude, everyone is.
He's got Kiko alongside him, at least, who has been able to survive, and in fact,
Kiko did pretty good to get 2. I like this little fast strat that Heretics do. It's nice.
What was an attempted blitz through. Drone going to be put up top. That will give the game away onto Panitek's position. Means he can't peek, but Nats is already here alongside him. Again, though, Heretics after this blitz have paused.
Yeah, but they didn't get to back yellow. Thrash is now denied. Nats spots there's still one here waiting for that peek, but Woot gets ahead of him. Fires the shot and takes
dude, if Liquid lose this round, their buy next round is really rough. Like I'm talking 4 stingers kind of rough.
These players safely back in main.
A lot less ground to fight for, but they try and go ahead of it. But completely blinded is Panitek. He had nowhere left to go. And I want to reiterate what I mentioned earlier in the match. Woot with his own flashes. Like, think about the amount of times where, look, he has 2 assists. How many people do you think have been blinded by the Gecko flash and been killed? I think it's a lot more than 2. And that's because he's just playing it like a duelist. Like, he'll go swinging into angles, he'll throw his own little pop flashes there again, and then retrieves it, and straight back up with another flash. Both the remaining players, he is leaving them blind. 16 and 6 for Woot. We've spoken about this man on initiators, and maybe the fact that sometimes he's lost when not on the duelist. I think this might be the balance.
It looks
like
what
do they get?
Set himself up for success as he is. The entire squad of Heretics, 2 rounds in a row for Liquid, immediately interrupted. And the attacking side are expecting aggression.
Can Heretics finally win a tournament?
Show a little bit of presence.
What maps are Fnatic banning?
Players up in spawn.
Pearl.
No one's seen.
And
no early aggression means they go walking up towards A. Now it's a late double push. But as the circle fades, you'll see that there's also 1 player up towards the spawn. So A is
Ascent,
a little bit lighter for
would
now.
Fancy Ascent.
The utility should bridge the gap.
Their Ascent's pretty bad.
Guns.
Haven.
They've only got a singular rifle. Flank is everything. Hunter's Fury has already bought into play. The turret just playing a
but I think
angle, which will
I think they like
that there's somebody around this position, and Boo is going to go looking for it. The flash leaves him in a bit of an awkward position. Doesn't really have the cover for the team. And Rians is looking the wrong way completely. 2 big kills coming up for Liquid, but Woot still standing. Miniboo alongside him. Woot's doing it all.
Woot's just killed
This man has been an
sight.
unstoppable force in this first half, and still barely taking a
I
lick
just wanted
of
a close
damage.
map, man.
Whereas Camo on
Any
the other
kind of
side
map
down
to
to
be
just 10
close.
HP. It's Woo looking to
Whoa.
add another ace to the tally.
Damn, bro. I mean,
They
like,
may have had
nice
as
round from
many as
Woot.
their opponents,
There's a
but
crazy
they're
shot
getting
mixed
them
in there
all
as well.
this series.
Damn close to equalizing series versus all year long. Another
Everyone's
ace,
just having
and a
crazy maps.
dominant way
It
to
was
close out this half. Now 10 rounds
Benji had
for
a crazy
Team Heretics.
Haven.
There seems to be
Rian's
no
had a
stopping them
crazy
in this
Ascent.
half, in this map, or in this series.
Woot's now having a
We'll be
crazy
back with what could be
Icebox.
the final half of the lower bracket after this.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Stack team, oh dude, it's so nice when you get a team like that, where just anyone can take over a map. I think it has to happen these days if you want to like win trophies. Yesterday's Xbox game is looking so different. It's just purely down to the Sage. Like I'm telling you, they don't have to play. They can just play their normal game. They can play their normal game against this comp. Whereas when you if you watch Heretics yesterday, even if you just watch their attack, just look how they feel like they have to take deep B control, and it doesn't look comfortable for them. Because they know that the retake of the Sage wall is going to be so strong, because they've got nothing really to stop it, because they don't use the Teo anymore. And you also got the pressure of the Viper wall. Viper smoke even. I honestly think if we get Icebox tomorrow, Heretics will use a Teo.
They once played a lower bracket final against Liquid, and it was a 3-0.
If we get an Icebox, we should get an Icebox.
But the shoe is on the other foot this time, with Liquid moving on to the attack side, just 2 rounds under their belt. We thought Ascent would surely be
not really
theirs,
these
Tom.
days.
It seems impossible, or certainly seemed impossible, to imagine a series where Heretics, after the form we saw them on yesterday, came in and dominated today. But
Dude,
what a
what is this guy
resurgence
doing
this
outside,
has been.
man?
Wow, I want to take one
Just going up and down the street.
and apply it to Woot, because I think he's in his final
Dude,
form.
why have you written
Like, he has been
1989 man we old?
truly unfathomable. You go back
Behave
to
yourself,
the last
dude.
map as well.
Crazy,
Rians was
man. I can't get
doing
a
exactly the
moment of
same
peace
thing.
out here.
Benji Fishy on map number 1. It really has just been a display
For God's
in the
sake.
depth of talent. That talent taken from the tier 2 and lighting up the tier 1. Of course, they're going to go aggressive.
Trying to watch some games in
Sure,
peace.
the first kill went Kiko's way, but it's already been a flood back in the other direction. And they're just set up for the retake. A deep alarm bot, which will give the game away. And sure, there'll be a plant. What?
80s is actually crazy. Mate, I was in the 80s for 6 months. I'm not sure it counts.
This is truly ridiculous. The pistol now, a 4v2. Opening pick went to Liquid. From that moment on, it all went wrong. Rians sat in the background watching the boys find success. Time and time again on this map, it has gone to Heretics. And once more, a round falls in their favor.
Really?
Team Liquid,
Ascent was the closest.
2 rounds versus 11. An unbelievable comeback needed. The odds stacked against them. The question has to be asked, do you take the eco here? 10 rounds in a row for overtime? Do you force buy?
Just imagine the replay chat.
I don't know that there's a right call. There's only wrong calls from here.
I think
You want to give it another go, or are we just
you are
accepting it?
correct. It's picking your poison. You
Oh,
force
okay,
and you
another
lose,
go at it.
you get the same buy again. You don't force, you give Heretics 12, and you're gambling on not only them just not winning around as a team, but one of the individuals on the other side not taking them over
that's
the
not
line.
even on him.
That's never going to happen. So they're going to force.
Bruh,
and
I'm
honestly,
pretty
I
sure
think it's
that's
the
not
right
even
call.
on him.
You
I feel
spread
like
the
it's in
risk
between them
slightly, but
both.
then look at the buy on the other side. They've come in with 5 Bulldogs. They are playing heavy into the rifles, looking to play at range.
Yeah, force buy obviously
Not
for
the
Liquid onto this
prettiest of
one,
starts.
and
Honestly, Kiko's done well here.
okay.
In fact, he's done incredibly well. Look at the HP though.
Yeah, a lot of tags here. Still a chance to pull
it
this
would
back.
feel
It's not a
devastating
standard
losing a 2v4 right now, but I'm looking at Kiko thinking he's got a kill.
He's hiding,
oh, why do I say these things, man?
Why
do I do this?
Now for Heretics. The numbers close
You'd think after like 2 years of doing this we would have learned, but
one shot, the rest are healthy. They've recovered some weapons. Patatek's got a bulldog in hand. Time is ticking away in their favor, and a flash primed and ready for the big swing. The tap now. Oh, it's not even going to come in yet. Oh, great time delay. This is dangerous. That's the rifle. Down
he had to dodge the shot.
Down goes Camo and Serial. He needs another clutch. He's down to 17 HP.
Oh, for God's sake.
Riens stepping up to the plate.
Ah, man. Well, it's really over.
For Heretics, a 2v4 clutch. And if not the beginning of the
We
end,
even messed up Wingman and we're still winning it.
For Team Liquid.
That one's going to sting. As if all the others had them before, but this is just the exact sort of round where you realize.
I mean, at least for Liquid, they won't dwell on this game for too long.
The only reason Patatek's in the open is because
you're not dwelling on
two
this.
shot darts were fired into the exact
you can
position
just
he
accept
stood
it,
in,
move on,
and
and focus on
to defend his buddy as he defuses.
Whatever's next.
And well, anybody who doubted Riens
10
from
chances.
that point in the round is a moron.
The worst part is if that nano doesn't activate, they tap the spike, flash goes up, we might see the round go the other way.
They're doing it again.
Buy enough time.
They've got slightly more to play with, but there's slightly more players sitting in their way. Kiko needs this pick and he will not get it. They met Godwoot once again.
Okay, well, we get the rematch tomorrow.
It is Heretics with
Fnatic get double banned. This was one of the fastest best of fives I've ever seen.
Grand finals in their blood. And they have proven that they are well worthy of making another.
Well, they've gotten revenge.
Okay, Liquid will still be happy because obviously they got Toronto.
This time it goes in their favor convincingly.
And I think like their first game in Toronto isn't be too bad.
Looks like when Heretics are out for blood. A best-of-5 grand final. And this team has earned their shot at the king for a second time.
An incredibly impressive performance, I think, from start to finish. And even though it's defeat for the side of Liquid, you can still see the smiles, the respect.
I mean, the best team that can get the Sentinels from what we've seen, I guess.
He's always spoken very highly of the individuals on the
people
other side
put
of the
Gen G
stage.
above Sentinels from what we've seen? I don't think so.
Surprised with
Maybe
what
with the
he
timeout.
saw. But this is exactly what you want to get from Heretics.
That's the thing as well, Liquid seem to have played like double the amount of matches of anyone at the moment, so I think the extra time will be nice for them.
But now they go back to the drawing board.
Look
at some of the comps that were picked apart by the explosive nature of this Heretics roster, this roster built on young talent. And why I mentioned it in the last, that there was a chance for Riens to come out with double the kills of anyone else in the server. That's exactly what Woot just did, by the way. 26-6. I think one of the best
they had an individual that took over a map every map.
Right until the end.
That's when this team starts looking real scary, where they're like all individually playing well, but someone goes crazy.
That was
I'm hoping they show something similar tomorrow so we get a good final.
Form, we could have a quick grand final. Fnatic better bring their A game tomorrow. This has been a joy to witness, Tom. But before we go down to the stage, to the interview, let's take a look at the Pay Safe Card play of the day.
What's this gonna be?
Miniboo's 1v3 to close out Ascent. Have a look at this.
It could have been one of about 15 plays, honestly. But I do understand why it was this one. I think even going back to the sort of end of the map with these wraparounds, Woot having an insane game, Riens having an ace.
Nah, he's looking good, man.
Benji Fishy.
Doing good form.
But it was this from Miniboo.
Fnatic? I'm not sure what their second ban will be.
Not only
I don't think Heretics look crazy good on Ascent, so they might leave it.
But it's that late reposition that just completely caught.
Yeah, the timing of his reposition here was like the main thing. They
And
just turned the
honestly,
corner, so they didn't think that he got there.
It takes a lot to fool a squad. It takes even more to land the shots at the end.
Yeah, those first two, they weren't looking. This one, though, straight up diffing. Let's go down to the stage where Yinsu is standing by with Benji Fishy and Boom.
What a great day to be a Team Heretics fan. I'm now joined by Boo and Benji. First of all, you guys were telling me a little story about that mini Boo clutch that we just saw in the pay safe card play of the day today. So talk me through what was going on in the comms. Was he confident he was going to win that?
I think you talk. You can tell a good story.
Yeah, I mean, so it was silent for a long time because, you know, normally silent in the clutch, but Domi was speaking the entire time. Like, he was running from spawn to B, being like, guys, I know I'm gonna win this clutch. Like, I'm gonna 1v2, like, I'm gonna destroy these guys. And then he did it. He said it into life, you know, like he wished it. So
manifested it.
Manifested.
Did you believe him when he said it? Be honest. Oh, okay.
I mean, of course. I knew that there is a good chance because they gave him so much space.
Oh, okay. I mean, you're always smart with these things, Boo. Now, what happened between yesterday and today? Because that was one of the greatest turnaround, I think, in form. I'll start with you, Boo, because it wasn't an easy loss yesterday.
Yeah, it was hard. Yesterday, I think the biggest thing what happened yesterday is we were not 100%. We had things unsaid to each other. Like, not everything was out in the open. So that's what we did after the game. We spent like an hour here in the prac room and just talked, because there is no time to prep in-game. It's all mental game. And yeah, we talked out. We understood the situation we're in, that if we don't perform now, then, you know, we don't go to EWC, we need to play qualifiers, we don't go to grand final, we don't get the chance to get the, you know, second place course broken. So yeah, it would be so sad.
Is it fair to say that you were fired up, perhaps, today?
I think so. I think this was like the Heretics that we should have shown yesterday. I think Fnatic played really well and exploited some of our weaknesses, but I think we realized that the main weakness was ourselves. Like, the main enemy was ourselves. And yeah, we just locked in. I don't know. Yeah, we locked in.
You did more than lock in, I think. Now, does this mean the mental block has been broken? You know, as you head to the grand finals tomorrow, you're probably aware, the entire narrative is Heretics, please, 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 this is your time to win a trophy. Is it time now, Ben? Do you think all these losses, you've all learned from it, and today kind of showed that?
You know, I think if I was to go into tomorrow, think about the second place curse, we would have already lost. And I think that's the same for the rest of the team. We're not going to think about the curse. We're just going to play the game, you know. So yeah, and if it goes well, then it goes well.
Boo? Aww.
Yeah.
Is that your dad?
Yes.
Oh, hey, Papa Boo. Yeah, carry on.
You asked about a mental block. The thing is about mental, there is no no stages. Like, every single day you need to kind of overcome it again. Like, every single day you wake up and, I don't know, something might be different, and that's what we work on every match day, every practice day. Yeah, it's not a given that, okay, now it's lifted. It's also not a given that we cannot win. It's just, I don't know, a job of every day.
It looks like you probably have reached that point now, because, you know, even against Team Liquid at kickoff, something felt like you weren't 100% there, but I think you guys proved yourself on stage today. I do want to quickly talk about some of the in-game stuff, though, because we had Boaster on the show yesterday, and he was very surprised that you have already moved away from the Tejo on Icebox. Is this a conscious decision you made, you know, given the up-and-coming patch, Boo, or is there a different reason?
It's combined. Like, it was coaches who suggested it. A little bit about our current game style, a little bit looking towards the future. So, and also it's a comp that we played before, so we have macro for it. So yeah, it was just like, I think we should do it. Okay, let's do it. And but it's not about the comp, as we all know.
What is it about then?
It's all in the head.
Ah, okay, so it was pure mental game versus Fnatic. Is there anything to do with the fact that it's such a wholesome rivalry? You know, you guys, we see you guys even before you get on stage, you're always laughing and joking, and Rians was doing Harry Potter spells back to them, and maybe you need to be more fired up?
I mean, you know, I think we can have fun, you know, off the, you know, when we're not in game. I mean, when we're in game, you know, I don't see, like, you know, if I see Viper, I'm not going to think, oh, that's Boaster. I'm just like, oh, it's just Viper, you know? Like, I'm not thinking about who I'm playing against when I'm actually in the game. But outside of the game, I think I like to have fun. I think the rest of us like to have fun. It's two good teams, good vibes. So, yeah.
And what separates you from Fnatic, do you think? You know, what are the differences when it comes to maybe playstyle or identity? Because from the outside, maybe the differences aren't too big.
I think they're a very smart team. You know, they've got a lot of experience. But I think for me, when we are like on point, I think we have like the best firepower in the world. So, and today I think we showed that all of us were on point, and yeah, I think that's the big difference that there is between us and other teams.
Yeah, I mean, you were carrying Rians on map 1.
I was.
That was crazy.
Yeah, crazy. Who would have thought?
And Boo, of course, with the map vetoes tomorrow, you won't be able to get a ban. So how do you kind of prepare yourself, and how do you approach a best of 5 like that?
Yeah, it's hard with the bans, but it's also hard with the time. We don't have much time to prepare for even the maps that we want to play. So it's just going to be similar to today, where it's not about the, I don't know, strategies or anything. It's about how we perform, how we talk to each other, how we, set our mind before the game. And it's going to be same tomorrow. It's going to be harder map-wise, sure, but anyone can win any map, and they know that as well.
Yeah, I mean, you have overlapping maps too. That's going to be really interesting. And very last question, Petra was with us on the desk, and she was talking about how no tournament run is ever the same. Even if you make 5 grand finals, in your case, it's never the same. So what is different about this time compared to the other grand finals you've made in the past?
I mean, I think we are different. The more tournaments you play, the more you learn, the more different you look at things. And yeah, I think she's completely right. You don't look at the grand final. The road to grand final is so long and so different each time that, yeah, it's a different run every single time. And yeah, I think we're just more experienced, more calm. I think our skill ceiling is so much higher mechanically and as a team. So this is probably the best chances we ever had with this roster.
What about you, Benji? What's different this time around?
We're just better, you know. We're just I don't know. I think this is the best. If we exclude yesterday, I think this is the best form we've been in ever. So yeah, we just have to prove it tomorrow. That's what it is.
From where I'm standing, it's the confidence. You all seem, as a team, as a whole, very, very confident. That's great to see, because we want a good grand final. So congratulations once again today. Thank you for a quick day, by the way. We're going to come back for a very long day, I'm sure,
really
tomorrow of a grand final. Thank you to all the fans that came out today, and to you guys at home for watching. But make sure you come back tomorrow, because Heretics and Fnatic will be fighting for a very important trophy. Have a good night, and we'll see you then.
Okay, chat. We'll take the early finish for sure. We have the final tomorrow. We got Heretics against Fnatic. Let's see who gets the first seed. See who gets the extra time, and see who doesn't have to play Swiss stage at Toronto. Also, I think so. We at least get the Toronto group draw tomorrow. We might get the group draw for stage 2 as well. So that's something to look forward to tomorrow as well. Chat, give me some kind of streamer. Just give me a streamer that's streaming right now.
Yeah, that's Amos here, bro.
Who do you want to raid?
Benji Fishy, the man of the hour. Unbelievable performance. Heretics looking dominant on map number 1.
Q some rank, they're not Q some rank. Scream? We could raid Scream. It's been a while. Give Scream a raid.
Well, this is exactly what
What's
they
he playing
needed
right
to
now?
get right back on the horse.
He's been playing a lot of CS recently. Playing CS? Yeah, let's raid Scream. Okay, thanks so much for watching, everyone. Thank you. I appreciate you all. We've got the finals tomorrow, and then again we have the draw shows. I don't know if we're gonna get 2. We'll see if we get both tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching. Sadly, it was a short one, but it is what it is. Right, bye everyone. Thank you so much for today. Thank you. Bye everyone. Bye. Say hi to Adele for me as well. Bye guys. Bye. YouTube stream. Subscribe if you can. That would help me out. And I will see you all soon. Bye.